As always, this episode is brought to you by the Ambassador of Bourbon. Bean, thank you for everything you do to make sure we have all the great bourbon right here in the studio. We are also brought to you by Valley Wine Cellar. Guess what, guys? Valley Wine is back. The wine bar is back. So you can go in and have a glass of wine or crack open a nice cold beer. And don't forget, they have the best selection in the Valley, so go and get your drink on. We are also brought to you by Empowered Yoga. Empowered Yoga is also officially open. The studio is open. You can go there live and in person. It is located at 2700 Sunset Boulevard. That is a great yoga company by my friend Amanda Gill. Some of the online classes are still available, and you can check them out at Empowered Yoga on Facebook or empowered.yoga on Instagram. All right, so today's episode was the first ever Bastards of Bourbon with me and Steve. That's me and his thing, and of course Jacob, as always, in the background, partnered up on everything. We had Jeff and Tommy with us. It was the first one we recorded. I thought the video would actually already be up by now. I've had quite a few problems, but they're easily fixed problems for future. One thing that did happen is, oddly enough, the audio system that we always use did glitch. So even in this audio that you're going to listen to, there is about 10 seconds or so of missing audio. So, but it's still a great episode. You don't really miss anything in that 10 seconds, and we had an amazing tasting. We did a Jefferson's tasting. We had 8 different bourbons. We had a great time, lots of laughs. Bastards of Bourbon is quickly becoming one of my favorite things to do. That's why we've created it to be its own thing. So we have shirts coming soon. Hopefully the website for Gathering of Fools will be up soon, and you'll be able to buy those shirts on there. Till then, I'll be letting you guys know on the Facebook. So without further ado, here is the first Bastards of Bourbon.
Once was a boy who lived in the shoe, liked to sniff glue.
Dooby dooby doo.
I'm just gonna draw pictures.
Oh, this is crazy.
Do you have any crayons?
No. This is also the first time since Thanksgiving that didn't work that we've done 4.
Has it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
Tommy and I have successfully breached the...
Baby steps. Baby steps.
All right.
Really? 4? It's the only time?
Yeah, we've done 3 quite a few times, but no 4.
Okay. Well, I'm honored.
All right, how do we feel? Good. We're recording on both. Oh, you're recording on both? Does it look good on that camera? Yep. Do I look good?
Yep. How do I look?
Can you dim the lights?
Yeah, is there a lot of light?
Swollen.
Is there a lot of light bouncing off my head?
There's a lot of light bouncing off 3 heads.
Did you see how you use the hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just...
Yep, and then let go of the hole. Easy, Jeff.
I'd much rather enter a hole than let go of a hole.
And we're off.
And here we go. All right, so we might as well go ahead and start. So here we are in the studio for the first Bastards of Bourbon. All right. Also, first time we're going to be recording. Hopefully that turns out well.
Hi, everybody.
The shockers of bourbon.
All right. Everybody should know everybody here. Obviously, we got me and Steve, Jeff Sommers back 2 episodes in a row, and Tommy Haggerty.
You know, in my head, I was calling you Jeff Sessions.
Really? Yeah. I was calling you Tommy Gainey.
He was.
You know, Tommy Gainey is a golfer on the senior tour that wears 2 gloves.
Oh, yeah?
So he's Tommy 2 gloves.
Oh, I love it.
You're Tommy 2 phones.
Yep,
Yeah.
I love it.
How about that?
You can call me Tommy Gainey. I won't call you Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, no, please don't.
Yeah, Jeff Sessions has a real weird look about him.
Looks like a mole.
Yeah.
Jacob, can you turn up the headphones a little bit for me? So we're obviously doing a tasting since it's the Bastards of Bourbon, and we're doing Jeffersons, and we have way too many of them.
Yeah. We have 8. I think they only make 10.
I am really nervous right now. I don't know what you guys are about to.
It's kind of an anticipation, but a nervous anticipation.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Totally.
thoroughly excited, especially for when we eventually get to. We're gonna be so drunk by the time we get to the wine that we're gonna be like, yeah, it's delicious.
There's wine.
Well, it's the wine cask finish.
Oh shit.
Oh man, we definitely only have a little bit of that Groth left though, so we're definitely gonna have to measure that one out when we pour it.
Yes, for sure.
My glass first.
Yeah. I'm sure you want to just pour your own. Next thing you know, it's all gone.
Let's drink out of the bottle. Shit's great, guys.
Oh man! So we are not only recording for the first time, first Bastards of Bourbon. I rearranged the space. We are in my living room. Actually, I no longer have a living room or a kitchen or a dining room. I just have a podcast studio.
It looks great.
It does.
It sure does.
You've got 2 TVs in here still.
Yeah. Well, eventually there's going to be 3 TVs that all are connected to that, so everybody can kind of see them from every angle.
Nice.
I bought a splitter, at least what I thought was a splitter. It was actually a switcher. Doesn't play them at the same. This is glass.
Looks like something my grandma has in her house.
Well, it's cool, Tommy. So
Okay,
shut up.
All right.
I'm a little upset about the weird angel on the top. I'll give you
Oh,
that.
is that an angel?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
That makes it more like a grandma's thing, though. Doesn't
Well, I
it?
think my mom collects angel stuff, and I
Like-
think she has that.
your grandma has a whiskey dropper.
My mom does, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She probably bought it by mistake. She's like, "Oh, look at this pretty angel thing.
It's a precious moments.
I'll stick it in a plant."
Stick it in a plant. Oh man. Well, we also will have shirts coming, just so everybody's aware. Actually, let's go ahead and pull those up. You got them.
Oh, that's dope.
Sweet.
You can make any black ones?
Yeah, we have right now. I've got them set up for gray.
That one, I like that, or the black
Yeah,
logo looks.
I actually really like it in the black.
Yeah.
The orange with the black.
Yeah.
I'm getting one
I do
of
too.
each.
Yeah, man, me too.
Those eventually those will go up. All the proceeds will go directly towards the podcast because it costs money.
Why 33020 again? Just for the viewers.
Yeah. So established 33020 was the first bourbon tasting me and Steve did. It was the day I posted it. It wasn't the day we recorded, just the day I posted it. So
Gotcha.
It's got a nice ring to it.
yeah.
33020.
That's a solid date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pam was very insistent that we had that and had the right date.
Nice.
The date's important.
I like it.
Yeah, it is. So
And I like the slogan underneath, because bourbon tastes good.
yes, it's perfect. And
If you don't chew Big Red Gum, then fuck you.
you guys have never met him, but me and Tommy's good friend Cody Cook actually made those in probably about 20 minutes.
Wow.
The emblem or whatever, the logo.
Does the music too, right?
Yeah, he also does the music. We actually have our own music for
Ooh.
Bastards of Bourbon too. I haven't approved it yet. I want to send it to you guys, see what you think of it. So
Awesome.
yeah. So I'm big
The
exciting stuff.
surprises just keep coming.
Yeah. We also now have the Facebook page, so you guys can find us on Facebook to get updates. It's just Gathering of Fools on Facebook. And the website
.com.
will actually be coming soon. Jake Young said he's gonna hook me up and do the website, so
Damn.
gonna have a store and everything on there.
Good.
So we're going for it.
All right.
Can you sell bottles of bourbon on there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'd have to sell them for a big uptick.
So I'll just sell them like under the table then.
You're gonna go black market bourbon sales?
How about we drink them instead?
Yeah, I'd just rather
All right,
drink
fair
them
enough.
than sell them.
You're gonna have to you're running out of room, to be honest with you.
That's why I moved it out here, is because I have all this shelving space all over the place. I just push all those movies off the back ledge, and there's more spots for bourbon.
Oh, okay.
This would be the equivalent of just jumping straight into the deep end when you don't even know how to swim.
Yeah.
We're just all in.
And what are we starting with here? The bourbon we started with?
Old Forester 1910.
1910. Seems to be the hardest one to get. It's labeled Old Fine Whiskey. It actually is excellent.
Yeah.
From all the ones I've tasted, I'd say it might be my second from that Old Forester line to 1920.
I would have to agree.
I think so too. Yeah, because 1920, so far is my favorite out of it. I've had all of them. I think.
I'm good right now.
The 1897.
Did you just point to your
It's
glass?
very good.
Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Here, guy.
I'm a big bastard. I can push around the little bastard.
I'm a big bastard. I don't pour my own drinks.
Do you want me to just give a rundown of the 8? I don't have to go into full description. I can, we can wait and do that as we go through.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and give a rundown, Steve, and then we'll do a full description once we go through them.
Okay. So we have Jefferson's Reserve, very old, very small batch. Then we have Jefferson's Reserve Old Rum Cask Finish, made from the same mash bill.
And actually, that is actually using Gosling's rum barrels too.
Okay, good to know. Then we have Jefferson's Oceans Voyage 19, and it is a special wheated bourbon or mash bill. Then we have Oceans 17. Do you think we should do the 17 before the 19?
yeah, we should do them in order.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Somehow
sense.
they got out of order. And that is Voyage 17. Then we have Oceans 21, which is cash strength, and that is also a Jefferson's Ocean. And then we get into the wine finished Jefferson's, probably what we're most excited about.
For sure, me.
Yep. Jefferson's Pritchard Hill. So it's finished in Pritchard Hill casks. Jefferson's Groth Reserve. So the Groth Reserve cask. And then this one, Dave, you probably pronounce it better than me because
Hell no, I won't.
it's Jefferson's Grand Selection. And the bottles were really, really cool. And it is finished in Chateau, Pichon, Baron.
Yeah.
Chateau Pichon Baron.
There it is.
And Tommy thinks he
perfect.
doesn't know his stuff.
Oui.
And I think those are the people that make Grand Cru.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's not even open yet.
No, yeah, we should go ahead and get that open.
So Pritchard Hill and Groth are Cabernets, and the Chateau Pichon Baron is a Bordeaux.
Oh, is it a Bordeaux?
Yes.
I think I was selling people Cab as well. Oh, that one wasn't open either, huh? Good call. Man, I did all this work today. I didn't open the bottles we needed.
Like Christmas.
My pen doesn't work either.
Your pen doesn't work.
No.
Jake, you got another pen over there?
Look at all these lines I drew.
That looks great.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're saying it doesn't work.
I mean, like they're indentations. They're not ink.
It's disappearing ink. Don't worry about it.
Oh, is that
Who
what
Framed Roger Rabbit?
I just want to write them all down when we every time we taste one.
All right. Well, do we have anything we need to go over before we start this menagerie? You want to go over the history of Jefferson's a little bit?
Good idea.
We could talk a little bit about that. So CEO Trey Zeller, we've talked about him in previous podcasts.
Yeah.
1997.
Yeah.
Took me a second.
Yep.
And you fill in the gaps, but he decided that he was going to make bourbon into artwork.
Yeah. Well, and real quick, his family had a history of because his 8th generation grandmother got arrested for moonshining in 1799.
How about that? That's a nice little nugget.
I dug deep for that one. Oh man. And what's crazy to me is he doesn't actually distill.
No.
It's all blends.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he originally, so that the Jefferson's Reserve, which is the first one we will try, I believe were barrels that he was able to get from other bourbon makers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I understood
Wow.
it when I read it. Yeah.
And then another little tidbit about it, we visited the distillery last year. When he was initially getting these barrels, then whoever he had bottle, I don't know if he ended up bottling some even on his own or with a few other people. He eventually contracted with this Kentucky Artisan Distillery, which has been making it since bottling it since 2012. But they also house barrels there as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're actually doing some blending right there at that distillery.
Yeah, and they're still, even the barrels they get, they are doing some of their own aging, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
just
for sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Jeff loves when you mess up your words. Yeah. He smiles every time.
I thought he was going to speak up when you said Kentucky.
Yeah, I was
The Canucky,
not to be confused with the Canucks up north of the border.
or with Jeff Kanicki,
Jeff Kentucky.
which I believe starred in Grease. I'm probably butchering that last name.
I think it sounds right
I
to
think
me.
it's Kanicki.
Yeah, I think that's right.
No, I don't know. I think it's Kanicki.
I thought it was Nicky Kanicki. I thought his name was Nicky.
Oh, well, I just threw in Jeff because he's the one making fun of me for
Go Grease Lightning.
already stammering over my words because I'm only on a half a glass of bourbon.
Maybe we're all a little camera shy.
This is going to get interesting.
I'm not even, it doesn't even feel like the camera's on, man. I'm not even phased.
I'm not
Everybody.
surprised, but you're not.
Can I stare at the camera the whole
There you
time?
Yeah,
The
just
whole
you just
time.
stare at the whole time. Just make sure you're in the mic.
Okay.
This will be the last podcast on video. You'll just get comments like, I can't watch that. The one guy's staring at me the whole time.
And he's not creepy at all.
No. Okay, I'm good.
Oh man. All right. I guess we're gonna jump in, huh? So we're gonna start with the reserve.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Glencairns, as I guess they can now see instead of us describing the Glencairns.
Yeah. This is the must-have for tastings. And I'm gonna use the pourer for mine because that way Steve doesn't get me drunk off the first two tastings.
Yeah, well, something I enjoy.
I'll use the pourer too.
I got you. All right, here you go, my friend.
Thank you.
So this is the first one they
Yeah.
actually did, right? Because they do have that Jefferson's 8.
Or just
That's-
take the bottle.
They do have that Jefferson's 8, but that is supposed to be lower than this one on the rung. But they didn't start with that, right?
I don't believe so.
Isn't his dad's name Chet?
Trays?
Yeah,
So-
I think his name is Chet. Look that up. I think his name is Chet. I think he's actually like a bourbon historian.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to be.
That's what we're aiming
About
for here.
10 more years.
You look like you could be an historian.
With the readers on, it gives me a
Yeah.
little bit more sophisticated look.
I could definitely see you on the History Channel.
Without that, I'm looking like Humpty Dumpty for sure.
You kind of look like the principal from Back to the Future.
I feel like that's rude.
No.
I'm gonna need to see the principal from
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
I just don't remember who that even was.
I feel like it's rude. Yeah, it's a little rude.
Just the left one when he was younger.
Oh, nice.
It's a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
sir.
Sir.
It's a compliment, Mr. Bastard.
I think he's actually a perfect blend of you and me, Tommy.
I can see that because his face gets really red.
All right.
He's got a face for radio, too.
We could rename him Stommy or Teeve.
TV two phones.
Remember, this is our first tasting. 7 more to follow.
We didn't even give you a chance to pull all these up, did we?
I didn't even taste mine yet.
I haven't either.
I got to tell you, I really like it. Easy to drink. Maybe doesn't have all the flavor you're looking for, which would explain why it's what's the MRSP, MSRP,
I want to say,
MRSP,
39?
yeah, I want to say
39 or 40?
I want to say it's 40, 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the one you were talking about before that is like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And this
is a-
one's called a reserve, and the other one's not.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Basically, that's it. Yeah, they it's got a different flavor than a lot of bourbons. It
does.
Yeah, it is very smooth though.
Do you put
really easy.
Do you put
I
water
forget
in
what
it
I'm
now?
tasting.
Yeah. Go ahead. That fancy pour. It's probably going to be a problem. We have that pour on that side too. If we don't want to wait for everybody to get that thing.
Some butterscotch, that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely got some butterscotch. I wonder if that raisin might be what I'm getting a decent bit of.
Might be the tobacco. Or it could be the
See, now,
tobacco smoke that's in here, or the cigar I had last night.
yeah, that second taste I had, I definitely got a little bit of the butterscotch and the raisin for sure.
I'll tell you, after adding the water, I definitely got it on the nose. The raisin for sure.
I got honey after adding the water.
Yeah.
I did. Maybe a little butterscotch, but when I smell it, it's oaky, or like tobacco or something.
I think I poured myself a little too much.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, that was me that poured you a little bit too much.
There's 8 of these guys.
Yeah. Easy now, Tiger.
Might be right. Raisin, butterscotch.
I'm definitely getting that raisin.
So, for anybody out there that hasn't had it or is thinking about it, I believe this is a real good place to start with your Jeffersons
Absolutely.
and see what you think of it, because they all somewhat build off of it. But I think what's also unique about Jeffersons is that because this owner, Trey Zeller, is so progressive in coming up with new innovative ways to age bourbon, there just are some unique flavors. But this is, I think it's priced just about right. Do you guys agree?
Well, I didn't hear what the price was.
40, between
Yeah.
40
Oh,
and
really?
like 44.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's good.
And this is just called the Reserve.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jefferson's Reserve, very small batch.
Very small batch. Okay, yeah, I got that too. All right.
It's good. Easy to drink.
Yeah, it's really it is like, I don't know. It was totally smooth the whole
Yeah.
time.
Hey, Tommy, put that bowl in between us for rinsing.
I'm not sure this is going to be my favorite flavor profile, though. It's good.
Yeah.
It's smooth. It's easy to drink.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be
Something in there. It's a little bit different.
Shall we put
It is. There's something different to it. It's not something you get from bourbons typically, I feel like.
Ah, shit. We shouldn't have had the 1910 first. It's like having the Widow Jane first,
What are we thinking?
and then having the Yellowstone.
We just can't help ourselves. Then the Yellowstone. Jeff really loves Yellowstone. All right, so now we got the Jefferson Old Rum Cask Finish. As I said, it's made with the Gosling rum. He partnered with them for that. Not made with the rum, but...
Now, have you ever had the Gosling rum? I'm not a rum drinker,
I'm not
so
either. I haven't had it.
Tommy,
No, never.
Jeff?
No.
Okay.
Gotta move in.
That could be a good thing. Is that a half ounce or quarter ounce?
This side is a half ounce.
Okay.
This one is... I got this one specifically for tastings. It's a half ounce on one side, 3/4 on the other.
Gotcha.
Here, just hand me your glass, Tom.
Meanwhile, Jeff over here is giving me an ounce and a quarter.
Yeah, he's giving you full shots.
I've drank with you before, Steve. I
You
know,
know-
you're not scared.
You know what my liver like.
Do you want this or are you
Feed
good?
the liver.
There you go. All right.
We'll see how it goes.
We
That's the price. Normally. 97.
Just give me
Yeah, it might be $100 bottle. I'm really not sure. I don't know if that's the problem with seeing them online is you don't know if it's MSRP or if it's
Okay.
We can always come back and have more.
all right. Here's the cap for that one. I'm definitely interested by this one.
Old Rum Cask.
I didn't even know this existed.
Same. And you can't find it on their website, which I find very interesting.
Bean actually just called me. Apparently, he went to when I got these bottles. He went to Kentucky apparently that day, I think, and he just texted me. He was like, "Hey, I bought $400 worth of bourbon today. You want it?" And I was like, "Probably. What is it?"
So what did he get?
He got that rum cask. He got that. How do you say it, Tom?
I can't. I have to look
Chateau.
at
Chateau.
it.
Pichon.
Chateau Pichon Baron.
He got that one.
That sounded like Scarface.
He got the barrel proof.
Larceny.
Yeah,
Oh.
the larceny barrel proof.
And when he got the Pikesville too?
No, that was a
Okay, it's
different
different
time.
trip.
Yeah, he got that larceny barrel proof, and he got that 1910. He actually got 2 bottles of the larceny barrel proof, but one was for somebody else.
Have you had that yet?
No, I just traded Jeff over there for a bottle of McKenna.
Oh, nice.
Have you guys tried?
We could try it tonight
Okay.
if we haven't enough.
Are you talking about the barrel?
The Larceny barrel.
Larceny
barrel
barrel
strength
proof,
or
yeah.
barrel proof, yeah.
So I feel like this one smells similar, actually, to the regular reserve.
Yeah, I really can't. I can't pick anything out. I'm having trouble picking anything out.
It's a different taste.
I think I always feel like I taste more when there's water in it. I don't know why.
I think what you should do, Tommy, is in between each one is smoke a cigarette. I think that'll bring out more flavors. For
Get a nice film on your tongue.
I'm gonna be hurting tomorrow.
I definitely get more alcohol from this one for sure.
I mean, I catch a little bit of hints of rum. There's no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I taste mostly alcohol in this. Like I can't really taste anything else.
Yeah, there's a strong rum influence.
Yeah.
What's
without
the
a doubt.
finish for
MSRP
sure.
on this one?
I honestly don't know, but I'm going to guess it's probably pretty close to what it says there. Pretty close to $100.
Now that I see that cinnamon is there, that's what I'm tasting on the tip of my tongue right now. At first, I thought it was the alcohol burning.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Thithy. Hey, Thithy.
Oh shit!
When you feel that on your tongue, that's the actual spiciness more than it is the alcohol.
I taste a lot of
Yeah.
cinnamon.
I liked it a little better with the water.
Yeah,
I did too.
I'm
Yeah,
actually going to add a
definitely.
little bit more
I
water.
don't feel
to
like
mine,
I
too.
got enough. Apparently, these half-ounce
See?
pours aren't enough.
Use
Hey,
the 3-4 side
I'll
next
pour
time.
the rest for you.
I'm going to add a little more water to mine.
Ounce and a half times 8.
It definitely was better with the water. Like I got better.
Opened up a little bit.
I tasted all alcohol without the water. I just did.
I get a
So-
little vanilla.
It could have
on
been
the
that
nose.
cinnamon though. That cinnamon
Could've
really
been.
threw me off.
Yeah, I like it. I can't say that I like it really any better than what we just had. Maybe it's just different. It's not certainly worse,
Yeah.
but when it's double the price, I'm thinking, okay, I'm
Yeah.
probably staying away from it.
Yeah, more than
too.
double. Almost
I-
2.5 times the price.
I like the reserve better so far. The
And
very
truthfully,
small batch.
we got an appearance by Pam. And truthfully, I think I'd rather drink the regular reserve, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and definitely for the price point. This is not something I would purchase again, but I'm glad to have in the collection. Thank you, Bean.
yeah, it was nice to taste. I wonder how it would be on a cube.
I bet you
A little bit more water it gets into it.
Might be more of like
Might
a
soften it up a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe
I
like
would
a
agree.
better cold weather bourbon maybe because of the cinnamon.
Are you trying to say it's hot in here?
No.
Sitting out around the
Cinnamon.
campfire.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I just
Cinnamon.
want another reason to say cinnamon.
Why is he talking with a lisp?
Mr. Gaffigan's
only-
made an appearance.
They've only tried 2 bourbons.
You sound just like a man.
Very nice.
Pam approves of the rum cask.
And it's what I'm anxious to continue to try. Obviously, tonight's not the night to do that. At least not yet.
Yeah. At the end, you know what? We'll just go through twice.
What?
By the end, Tom is just going to be sitting here throwing up on himself.
Yeah, let me make a couple phone calls real quick.
You think it's going to take till the end?
Wow, and we're already into the oceans. How exciting is that?
This is when it gets dangerous.
And extremely different from what I hear.
Now, one thing I have to say about this, I remember talking about Voyage 17, which is what we're moving on to. I was telling Jeff this earlier when I saw him at Kroger's, actually. I kept telling people at Garden Grill that I tasted salt in it. People kept telling me I was crazy.
Yes.
And then when I was doing research on it, every single tasting note has salt on it. Every single one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I knew it.
Right. And another one we're going to try later, it's actually full-blown in the description, salty caramel notes.
The cask one?
Yeah.
You know, and you know what's funny? I don't get that same amount of salt from that.
Or no, it might be. No, maybe it is 17.
Yeah, I think it's 17. Because I'm actually, this is the one that I've said multiple times I'm not a fan of. I am excited to try it again after I've tried it 2 or 3 times, but now it's been a while. My palate has definitely changed from the last time I've had it. So we'll see what it's all about.
So I got a quick little tidbit story as
See that pour.
Oh yeah, as you guys pour this and start to try it, so we don't have too much dead air, and because I know everybody just loves to hear me talk.
I love the history lessons.
Especially
This is this is my favorite part. Honestly, it's helping me learn. I
Well,
feel like I'm in class right now.
You have the Voyage notes?
I do. I have the
Oh,
Voyage
good.
notes.
Hell
So
yeah.
Read each one.
one of the cool things about their website, Jefferson's website, is you can go to. They have every Voyage and they have the description of where that boat voyaged to. Mostly, it's always they've touched down in 5 continents, but it gives you exactly the route. And then the other cool thing is they have a virtual map where the current voyage you can see where they are. And he partnered with this guy named Chris Miller, who is the captain of and I believe owner of a vessel called O Search.
Yeah.
And they do all sorts of things with marine animals, and they've tagged sharks. And one of the cool things about one of the voyages, they tagged a shark on, I believe it was Voyage 18, and they named the shark Jefferson's because they had like 5 barrels of Jefferson's on that particular voyage.
Oh, nice.
And you can actually get on the website and you can follow that shark on the website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 'cause
I didn't realize
they
that.
tagged him and it has a beacon on it. Is this mine here?
Yes.
Thank
awesome.
you. But anyhow, Voyage 17. The cool thing that happened during that voyage is there was a cargo boat that the O-Search vessel kind of came close to, and it ended up having tens of thousands of rubber ducks on this cargo boat. They hit some, it was traveling from Singapore to San Francisco. It hit some rough waters. It lost all of those thousands and thousands of rubber ducks into the ocean.
So there's just somewhere there's just a bunch of rubber duckies
just through the
Floating
Pacific
around.
Ocean, floating around. So one of the things they say is the smooth journey resulted in an exceptionally smooth bourbon. So get yourself a little rubber duck, a Let It Rocks glass, and an ice cube or two, and enjoy Ocean Voyage 17.
That's awesome. Now, I do want to say somebody I'm sure is going to bring up, oh, that's pollution, but it's the coolest kind of pollution.
So on each of the bottles for the voyage, they list the voyage notes.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It tells you how many times it crossed the north to south equator, hot
Okay.
weather to cold weather.
It just makes drinking more of like
acceptable.
of an addiction. like, it's just really I like that's it's really cool that they do something like that. Like it just makes it I don't know, kind of just more enjoyable, really. Like
and
the
adventure,
yeah
if you will.
yeah it
Tastes it
feels
right away.
adventurous.
Yeah.
So-
Right off the bat, salted caramel.
Yeah.
Definitely get the salt
Heavily
right away.
salted
Yeah.
caramel.
It's salt. There's without a doubt. Forget all
So
you.
I know you weren't a big fan, at least initially, and you know, do you know that Piker loves this? He thinks this is one of the best bourbons he's ever had.
Yeah.
But the one day everybody was drinking it, so I tried it again, and I wasn't a fan, I should say, but I am more of a fan now than I was before. Still not one of my tops, but I would definitely drink it now for sure.
I was telling a guy I work with today that we were doing this tonight, and he has just raved about the 17. Just loves the saltiness of it, and I'm thinking, there's a guy that loves it. I'm sitting across from a guy that, well, initially hated it.
Yeah.
Just that's bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're gonna like some things, you're gonna dislike some things.
Yeah, I don't.
But salt right off the bat, salted caramel.
Yeah, it's a first taste.
Yeah, what's marzipan?
What is marzipan? Anybody?
Isn't it a cheese?
Is marzipan a cheese? Jake,
Or am I'm thinking of mascarpone.
Yeah, you are thinking.
Ah,
of mascarpone.
mascarpone. Put some mascarpone on my plate. Was that Irish or Italian?
I'm not sure it was either. I think you just made up an accent.
It was Scottish Italian.
Over there on the right. Often made into sweets.
What is it?
Okay,
It's
Bread?
It's a confection.
it's a confection.
Okay.
Mixed all together.
Almond meal.
Just
When
when
I-
I thought I heard it all.
When I first tasted this, I wrote down that I tasted corn. And I'm wrong.
Well,
Well,
it does.
huh?
It is made of 51% corn.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know why, but I couldn't really I couldn't taste anything like too much caramel really.
When I add the water, I get a lot more of the sweetness on the nose.
It's very salty
I got
without it.
I got a lot of
Yeah.
toffee and saltiness with the water.
Want some?
What'd you think of it? It doesn't.
I like this better than the old rum cask.
Do you?
Without a doubt. Yeah,
Me too.
Completely agree.
Yeah,
I agree
Way
with-
more drinkable.
I agree with that.
I think it's smooth. Sorry, Steve. go
No,
ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think it's even smoother than the reserve. Like I thought it was really smooth. Like right now, it's my favorite of the three.
I'd like it more than the reserve as well.
I think this is another one I'd put on a cube to let this maybe dial down the salt a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's
like,
very tasty though.
At first, it's kind of like a salt lick. Yeah.
You know, I agree, Dave. And I love salt. I oversalt all my food, and I'm the guy that picks up the salt shaker before he tastes his food and dumps it on.
Right. You take
Sorry, Mom.
You take the cap off and just.
Well, maybe not that bad. Boy,
I
there is
put
some salt.
I put some water in it. Wow, that really did something for me.
You get a lot more of the sweetness.
That's why I think over a cube would be awesome.
Yeah, I got a lot of toffee with the water. Or,
Okay.
I don't know, just sweetness, really.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I agree
Took away
with-
some of the salt.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't notice that much saltiness when I took a drink without the water, though. But like my palate, it's like just like very naive. It just tastes alcohol and like
Nicotine.
and obviously for some reason corn. 'Cause
Sometimes-
it's mostly corn that I'm drinking.
Did you have
So
corn on the
I'm just like,
cob
"Yeah, corn."
tonight or something for dinner?
Yeah.
he's catching some remnants of some popcorn he had last night. It's stuck in between his teeth.
Sometimes Tommy just kind of chugs bourbon too. Sometimes we'll be sitting here hanging out and we'll get a drink at the exact same time, and I'm not even halfway through mine, and he's like, "So what are we drinking next?"
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't
Tommy.
believe you, Dave.
There's nothing wrong.
I
with
refuse to believe that about Tommy.
that. I'm usually done with my bourbon
Here's a
before
lid.
most other people.
All right, Tommy's taking your advice. Cigarettes in between tastes.
I think it's a good idea. I think it'll clean my palate a little bit, and
That's what I have water for.
That's what I have Old
just
Foresters
trying
for.
to think of some reasons.
Yeah, and the next one up, I'm really, really excited. I'm not going to say I'm most excited. I guess I'm excited in general, as you could probably tell. Oceans, Voyage 19, Weed It, Mashville.
I'm really excited for this one too because I've never had it.
Ocean's Weeded 19.
Yeah, so Voyage 19 and then Weed It, Mashville.
Oh, weed. Okay.
Which was that the same as Voyage 15? Was 15 the other weeded when they?
I believe you're right. So one of the things that they feel that this brings out, because of it being a Weed It mash bill and not having to compete with the spiciness of a rye in there, is a great deal of vanilla and salted caramel corn. So
Caramel corn.
caramel corn.
Wow.
So two things I really like. So very anxious to try it. It's supposed to have a subtle wood finish. There isn't really much in the way of any fantastic stories about this voyage, this particular one.
That means there needs one to be made.
Yeah. Either that or something really horrible happened and they're just keeping it under wraps. You know, the vessel was caught by pirates and everyone was raped on board.
Right.
See if you can.
They
read
lost
that.
half the crew.
It's what COVID-19 is named after.
Oh my god.
Is this clean?
Yeah. So
I'm the captain now.
5 continents, 30 ports, it crossed the equator 4 times. And this particular one had, and not a lot of them did. The earlier one we had, it was they talked about how calm it was, even though they ran into a little bit of weather when they ran into the rubber ducks. This had extreme transitions in temperature.
Okay.
They had times where they were in 100-degree weather, and they had times where they were in below freezing weather.
No shit.
I'm never gonna get over the rubber ducks. I just wish I could see a
Why are
picture
these
of that.
barrels going around the world?
Oh, actually, that's a
I
good
can't
question.
believe we didn't bring that up earlier.
Like, wait a second. I wonder, like,
Why? So they
where
age it.
in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
They age it for 4 years, roughly 4 years, on land. Normal, regular bourbon oak, white oak, brand, new oak barrels.
Okay.
And then typically it's 2 to 3 years on the vessel, depending on the voyage. It could be as little as 18 months.
Okay.
And the whole idea behind it is because of all the agitation of the ocean and rocking the boat, that the whiskey or the bourbon gets into the wood further, deeper, and it ages faster, and it brings out more flavor.
No shit.
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat. Oh, sorry.
It's all
So,
about the motion.
In order
the
for it
ocean.
to be considered a bourbon, does it has to be in an American barrel or on an American vessel?
has to be
or
a-
that it was or that it was aged before that.
Yeah.
That's like 80 questions right there in one.
So it's
Could you
considered.
repeat that, please?
let's hit that one point
Go
at a
ahead,
time.
Jeff. You
Three
answer.
three part question. 3 part question, please.
Yes.
Jesus
yes.
Christ.
No.
It has to be, in order for it to be a bourbon, it has to be a new white oak charred barrel,
Okay.
and it can't be used. And once they've used them once, they can be used for other stuff, but they can no longer be used for bourbon.
I just thought it had to be somewhere in America, though.
It has
50
to be in America as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
51% corn.
Right.
Yeah, I knew that.
Minimum 3 year.
Yeah, I knew that.
No, 2 year for
2
straight bourbon.
2 year.
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
three.
Yeah. We
What
had
am
a
I-
big
what
long
am I
thing about
missing?
this the one
I
time.
think that's it.
Okay.
So the idea that they take this stuff out to sea
What's
after
that?
it's been in a barrel for about 4 years.
Oh yeah, straight bourbon must be matured for at least 2 years. If a bottle does not bear an age, it is at least 4 years. So if it doesn't have the age on there, it's at least 4 years.
But don't they say that sending it out in the barrels and all the motion ages it faster?
Much.
Okay.
And when they
Okay.
first tried this, their first trial run, what came back out of the barrel was almost like molasses because they had no idea it was going to age that fast.
I'm gonna need that bottle back.
Which one?
The
one we
19.
just had?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Was that Jim Gaffigan?
Sorry, because I already I already had my first my first taste, and I already forget.
cursing?
All right. So what were you saying, Steve? I'm sorry. I don't know.
He forgets. So right off the bat, caramel.
Cracker Jacks.
Caramel / vanilla.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. Very smooth. Probably the smoothest one yet, I think.
Yeah, off the nose, I get the caramel without a doubt, even on just the nose.
You do the Kentucky chew on this one, and man, does it bring out a lot of flavor.
Wow.
I got a lot.
Tons.
I got a lot more of the caramel after chewing it,
Did you?
and very smooth. Yeah, the smoothest so
This
far.
kind of reminds me a little bit, and it would make sense because it's a wheated bourbon. Is the Weller?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I would agree.
Yep.
Yeah, it's excellent. This is by far my favorite so far.
Same.
Hey, Dave, you know what else is a wheated bourbon?
Pappy.
Larceny.
Yeah, but that one tastes like soil and wheat.
You really like the larceny, huh?
Well, yes, I did, but I have to. Full disclosure, I mean, that was one of the first bourbons I ever drank, and it is very smooth, light, easy to drink. You know, I kind of like the higher proof stuff now. So I'm real curious to taste this barrel strength larceny. Maybe a little bit of, what I liked there initially, plus what I'm liking now. And we can, like I said, we can open and taste it tonight and see what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in trying
I'm
it.
interested.
That's a shocker.
Because
I don't think I want any.
That's another shocker.
Come on, Steve.
that one was an actual
That's
shocker.
a bigger shock.
Because honestly, if I didn't know that you were hunting for that so bad, I would have kept it because I'm interested in trying it. Just because I don't like the regular larceny doesn't mean
Yeah.
I won't like the barrel proof. So
Agreed. Yeah. Well,
but
Really
you'd been
sweet
talking
smell.
about how bad you were trying to
Been
find
looking for
that.
it. Yeah, I appreciate that.
So as soon as it came in, I was like, "Yep, that's going to Jeff."
So full of flavor, a lot of caramel in there, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
Hints of a little bit of mocha in there. Definitely the vanilla I taste.
You know, it's crazy. I didn't notice it till you said it, but the mocha I got on the nose after adding water.
And I really
noticed the
like
mocha.
and I mean the Cracker Jack reference is actually it's a pretty good reference. Now I don't get the peanut out of a Cracker Jack, but
But that's the caramel for sure, right?
yeah.
And it's when you add the water, you definitely get that toffee and caramel real
Yeah,
strong on the nose.
for sure.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
get a hint of mocha on it too.
And Tommy,
That's
you
really
got
good.
to like seeing where it says it's abundant flavors of cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Cinnamon cornbread. Salty caramel. Very smooth.
It's right there. Yeah, we got to keep getting Pam some as well.
I know, well, you're saying all this stuff that I really like. Gotta try that. Thank you.
Well, this is going to be a hard one to beat, guys.
I'm gonna have to
Same.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Gentlemen.
Wheated bourbon, except for the larceny, I've really enjoyed every wheated bourbon I've tasted. Really.
Yeah.
Here, I cleaned it.
Very
Yeah,
Okay,
that was very tasty. And so when I found that, I knew it was weeded, and I had been hunting for it, and I found it in a store. And as soon as I got home, I opened it and tasted it. And the first taste was like, oh, yeah, this is good. So that didn't disappoint.
The one we just had?
No, the one I had in my house 2 weeks ago when I got the bottle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, this is, I keep forgetting we're filming, so people are going to be like, why is he fondling these bottles? What's wrong with him? He's got a real problem. Yeah, we failed to mention, and we've done this every time on our bourbon tastings. Can't believe we forgot, but we have not been mentioning the proof.
Oh, yeah.
So what we just tried was 90 proof, and that was 19. 17, also 90 proof, and I can't reach that one, but I'm sure it's probably 90 as well.
Which
the
one
price,
is this? The reserve?
Yeah.
Yeah, 90.2.
And these are all, the Voyages are all priced around, is it $90 or $80?
I've seen some for 100.
Okay.
I mean, but for the most part, I think you're right. It's like 90.
The Ocean 21 was right around $100, 95.
Oh, that's right, because the cast strength?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
I
old
think the
rum,
17 was a little less.
the old rum cask, the one with the cinnamon, was 90.2 proof.
Okay.
So I just want to throw a quick shout out to my friend Amanda Gill. She just walked in. She's going to take some pictures for us. For those of you that listen to the podcast regularly, she is the one that has Empowered Yoga. And they are opening their actual studio when? Tomorrow. The yoga studio will be open tomorrow.
Great time to be here, yeah.
Where?
Is it in the mall?
No, I did an event at the mall, but it's not actually at the mall. It's in the same building where Celebrations was.
Okay. It's for those of you that live local, it's in the building where Celebrations was.
It's across the street from Speedway.
And Smitty's
right.
Carpet.
Here's one for the old timers.
Hold on real quick. What's the address again? 2700 Sunset, and she's come in to take some pictures of the first time we had the studio move, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Amanda.
For those of you that are a little bit elderly, it's next to the old Spawns building.
and Menini's Pizza, or
Listen,
Menini's,
I used
depending.
to get to go to Spawns as a kid and get a milkshake. It was a highlight of probably my year.
Well,
And that was the building right behind
it's the Rehab Plus is in there now.
Okay.
how appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, now hold on. That's like physical rehab, not drug rehab.
Okay. All right.
It's still fitting.
And across the parking lot was Menini's or Menini's, again, depending where you were from, Mingo or Steubenville. But it was pizza like DeCarlo's Pizza and Gianna Moore's, and very, very good pizza.
I've never heard of
Steubenville
it.
Pizza, yeah.
Wow.
All right. So what are we on now?
Okay, so now we're on Voyage 21, and the whole reason why I even brought up about the proof prior to is because we are now going to venture into what we call
Big boy world.
yes,
Yes.
it's a big boy bourbon. Cask strength proof is 113.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy.
I'm excited for this one.
Voyage 21, you said?
Voyage 21.
Yeah.
I have
Buckle up, boys.
I have no notes or anything about it. We'll see what
And the Voyage details aren't out yet either.
Jacob can pull up here.
So I believe
Work his
this
magic.
This is the newest one, I believe.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Come on, Jacob, you can do it. Come on. No, there just isn't anything out, which I find strange. I mean, when you come out with it, wouldn't you have something with it?
You would think
I
so.
think
Come on, Trey.
I think
makes
what
too much
happens
sense.
is, like what you said, something bad happened.
Somebody was raped.
Like as Dave said, as Dave said earlier, look at me, I'm the captain.
I'm
now.
the captain now.
Like they basically got raided by pirates,
What? I'll tell you the other thing
and
that's
people
weird.
were raped.
You know how some of the Instagram posts have been liked by Jefferson's Bourbon? Well,
Yes.
it comes up saying it's liked. You can see the like, but if you go try to find Jefferson Bourbon's Instagram page, it doesn't exist.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't understand how they're liking my stuff.
Well, they
but
just have
there's
a what do you call it? A Twitter name.
It's a fake account.
Yeah,
Or did you say
It's me.
Instagram?
it's Instagram. Yeah,
They just have an account. No postings, no.
you can't even find the page.
No, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Oh,
But
they
thank you for
actually
liking
do. They have some things in here.
Oh, let's see what they have to say there, Steve.
Okay, so Voyage 21 was never caught in a major storm, but the seas were rough. The sea was rough that day, my friend.
Very choppy. Batten down the hatches.
I smell barnacles.
All right, we're getting there.
The handmaidens had their dresses on.
Oh, no. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, you're gonna love this.
Uh-oh.
It was almost like it was. People are gonna think, oh well, he knew that before, and he just brought it up like he didn't know it.
Or you made it up.
Except for a caution regarding an increase in pirate activity
Oh.
in waters declared as the most perilous by the United Nations. Voyage 21 made the passage to China, South Korea, and Japan without incident. In quotations.
Tom Hanks was on that fucking boat.
I get a decent amount of
Wow.
sweetness
That's
on the
good.
smell.
I got first taste, very sweet. The sweetest so far.
Here we are jumping at the high proof stuff right away. That's really full of flavor.
I got so many flavors in that drink.
Fantastic.
As soon as it hit my lips, I wasn't ready. It's so
I
good.
forgot to chew it. It was that sweet. I was just like,
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
I didn't know where I was going. It was pure ecstasy.
It's amazing how the higher proof ones, once you have a palate for it, you get so much more flavor. You would think it
so
would be
much
the
more.
exact opposite.
yeah.
Yeah, you think you'd get just alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they're downproofing a bourbon, because it has to be you can't bottle it any higher than 125 proof.
Okay.
So when they're downproofing a bourbon, they're adding water clearly. So it would think it would potentially mute flavors that you would otherwise get at a higher proof.
Right.
I mean
Right.
I don't know where that came from. I probably watched too many bourbon documentaries.
Well, you
and
watched
it's just
3 in
soaked
one night, so
I love that one on Hulu. What
The
you
neat-
told me I loved it.
That?
I didn't hear a word you said, Steve. I'm like, this is so good.
I
gotta
said
put it
when you get a higher proof bourbon, you do get more flavor because it hasn't been watered down to lower down the
Yeah.
proof.
completely agree.
yeah, I feel like that has to be it. I was really nervous about the Elijah Craig barrel proof because it's damn near 70% alcohol, but there's so much flavor to it. It's really amazing.
So,
If that's not the alcohol, I taste cinnamon.
couple drops of water,
oh man,
really good.
Cool. Did you find notes on this? No. Man, the
I
smell.
could,
I get fruit when I added the water.
I got like cinnamon or spice,
I
like
got-
aftertaste.
On the nose, I mean, I got fruit.
I got more spice on the nose.
Really?
It even made my water taste sweet. I'm serious.
That's really excellent.
That is excellent. I could see drinking it either way too. Neat on a rock.
Neat rock, yeah.
You got to try this one, Jacob.
Yeah. Let's hand that over to
Yeah.
him. If you need a new rock, Jake, they're in
Again.
the freezer.
The best so far.
You know, it just seems like we've gone
Yeah, so far we've nailed this,
kind
huh?
of.
Nailed the order.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know about the old Rum Cask and Reserve.
Well, that's true.
I think
I
they
might
were
have
very
switched
close,
those.
but the price was almost 2.5 times. So
Yeah, and actually, I definitely like the Reserve better.
but I thought they were both good.
Yeah, this one now, Jeff. Are you regretting not buying this one when we had it in?
Yeah, right now I am.
Yeah,
Yep, for sure.
Not me.
I kept.
Because I bought one.
Me too. I kept giving him the warning.
Bourbon bastards. Bastards of bourbon.
I kept giving him the warning too, like, hey, there's one left.
We can only hope to be as smart as them someday, Tommy.
Mine isn't a smart thing. It's just I buy everything that comes in.
And then he doesn't tell you about the stuff he bought that just really sucks.
Exactly. I leave it at other people's houses.
Yeah, it's at everybody's houses.
A true ambassador of bourbon.
really good.
He shares it and leaves it. That's part of the process.
You know,
Although I did leave a bottle of Eagle Rare at my, not a whole bottle, but probably about a quarter of a bottle at my neighbor's house.
It's better when you're drinking with someone
That's
else.
funny because I did the same thing a few weeks ago. Went to a friend's house, played poker, took a full bottle of Eagle Rare. Of course, enjoyed some myself. It's like he did not have. He had a nice little selection.
Right.
Didn't have Eagle Rare. I'm like, you're keeping that.
I did the
Yeah.
same thing. I took the High West,
West,
Double Rye,
yeah.
except we drank all but an inch of it. And I said, you keep that.
That's for you.
Now mine had about 3/4 left, so I was making up for my Blanton story when I took a half a bottle.
I can't lie. My Eagle Rare was pretty low too when I left it over there. We were all three drinking it while I was there too. I was in one of my modes. And I was actually walking around the neighborhood with a glass in the bottle, just Just thinking about stuff.
Wow.
And then I heard my neighbors.
Only if it would have been in a paper bag would have that story have been better.
Bourbon in a paper bag. That'd be something.
In your bare feet.
I started.
In the rain.
It did rain for a little while. I did maybe write notes in my phone.
Oh boy.
It was right as the pandemic really hit.
Gotcha. Yes. Yeah, you had to do a little soul searching.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
I sat in my parents' driveway for a little while.
And I feel bad for that friend because there's no doubt now that I've heard that story that whatever you left him was all backwash.
I had a glass.
Rainwater.
I had the glass with me too. I'm fancy. What are you looking for, Jake? What's
next is the Jefferson's Reserve Pritchard Hill.
Yeah.
Pritchard Hill.
So
Cabernet Cask Finish.
I hope we didn't blow it by drinking that 21 cask strength.
I'm going to get
before
some more
these.
water in my palate, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
'Cause, boy, that was a flavor bomb.
And-
That
and
was good.
Totally was.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yep.
And we're about to change that complete flavor profile.
That's what I'm.
100%.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
little
I
worried
was
about.
in a glass case of emotion. That's how good it was.
I was just in a glass house throwing stones.
One of my favorite things to do.
I love breaking glass.
Oh, it's like, oh my God, what's wrong with him? He has a drinking problem.
Not only does he like to drink, but then he likes to break stuff. All right, that Pritchard Hill. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right, we might as well keep the same order. You guys pour first.
Let's see. Did we rinse this?
No.
I didn't.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. Before we started video recording, we never rinsed the pour. Then again, we never used the pour. I'd look down and I'm like, Steve, is this half a McLaren glass full of bourbon?
I like to pour heavy.
Now that they're saying that this is the smoothest.
So what's the proof on this one, Dave?
Let's see. The proof on this one. This one is at 90 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
And what was Voyage 21?
21 was 113.
That's why we liked it.
It was so good.
And this is $79.
Yeah, this is about 79.
curious
Actually, no. You can find this for 70, for sure.
This is still definitely easier to find. It's still readily available.
Yeah, this one you can get.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw it online today.
Yep.
Yeah, this one you can get your hands on. There's a couple places
I
in
didn't
Ohio
see the
that
Groth,
have it.
though.
No, the Groth is really hard to
Yeah.
get. Yeah, we have maybe just enough of that for this tasting. No matter what, we're finishing that Groth tonight.
I like how their logo for the blackberry is an actual blackberry. Blackberries as the.
Well, they soak
Screensaver.
blackberries in the
one you
bourbon.
No, but they have a blackberry phone.
That's what I'm saying. The BlackBerry phone. They soak BlackBerry phones in the bourbon.
So
I'm
just
fucking with you.
I know.
Uh-oh.
it is aged 4 years typically in the bourbon or the American oak bourbon barrel, charred bourbon barrel, and then they do 12 months, and I say at least 4. It could be 5, 6, 7. Then they do 12 months in French oak that once held Pritchard Hill Cabernet. Pritchard Hill is the most sought-after wine from the Chapelet portfolio, which
Oui,
is
oui.
a very well-known.
Chapelette.
Chapelet.
Chaplet?
It's Napa Valley. Big name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Big, robust cab, fantastic.
It's interesting. You
high-
wonder how they got hooked up with Pritchard Hill.
I feel like he just calls everybody and whoever answers.
Maybe.
I mean,
but
some
you
of
got-
these people.
You got two big names with Pritchard Hill and Groth.
Actually, you know what?
And
I actually,
or whatever that French name was.
now that I think about it, I actually did read about this. We were still in the liquor store. He is actually also a big wine fanatic.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
huge,
Yeah.
loves great cabs,
Yeah.
Bordeaux.
Yeah.
So he probably knows the
He knows what he's looking for.
right people to talk to.
Yeah. I got to tell you, on the nose, I haven't tasted it yet. On the nose, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I smelled berries,
Okay.
and my first taste
I'm
was
curious to
so
see what you smell.
my first taste was so smooth it felt like I had water in it.
Yeah, very smooth. I'm not sure if I'm smelling a little bit like an olive.
Really?
I know. Oh no, Pam says.
So the story.
He hates olives.
Well, yeah, then and I would see that out of the Groth, but I'm not getting olive.
right.
I'll tell you what I'm getting.
I get none of that on the taste though.
I can't really tell what I'm getting on the nose.
I think on the taste I'm getting Cabernet
Weird.
and bourbon.
I think you're out of line.
I taste a lot of bourbon, guys.
What's it taste like to you? Well, bourbon to me.
Oh, go ahead. Here.
It's really good.
It's excellent. Not quite as packed full of flavor as the was that 21?
No, but also smooth.
Boy, I really like
smoother.
it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Definitely, I get the cherries that you're talking about. Is that what you said? Cherries,
Yeah.
Something on
Yeah.
the
I
finish.
smelled it.
Different.
berries.
It's like a black cherry.
What's interesting about it is
I like it so much I actually forgot to put water in it.
Maybe it's licorice. There's
I've
something on the
got
finish. I'm
I've
tasting.
got a little person behind me drinking mine, so I am gonna need more.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm gonna
taste-
need a little
Here,
more for the water.
It's right here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
It's right here.
I kind of taste the lemon.
Yeah, Amanda, she jumps
See, I
up
think I'm
about
getting more like a licorice.
every.
Are you?
I saw that up
Actually,
there.
I think you've tasted 3 out of
Something on the
4 or
finish.
something like that.
Aftertaste. The finish is
Yeah.
licorice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the one that should be taking.
But it would not be a bourbon podcast without Pam, though.
Right.
Let me see that too.
Isn't like every podcast a bourbon podcast?
Well, I mean, we drink bourbon on every podcast. That's true. We now have a fridge stocked full of alcohol. There's alcohol all over this fucking place now. There's no food in the fridge. There's not even room for it.
You know, after you showed me the fridge earlier, I thought to myself, there was no food in there. Where is his food?
I said this. I asked the same thing. I didn't text it to him, but to myself I asked. I was like,
So
Yeah, it doesn't
"Where's the food?"
So I had a small fridge in the old studio. Amanda asked where the food is. I had a small fridge in the old studio, and I now have put what food I have in there. But honestly, I eat at Garden Grill so much because I'm working doubles now. So, and you know, they have good steak, good vegetables. Come check us out. Great bourbon selection.
And vegetables.
Shameless plug.
Listen, Dave, you deserve the credit for the great bourbon selection that they have now, because when I was first over there, it sucked.
Well, thank you.
Easy now.
But you got to give a shout out to the owners too for being willing to trust you to pick good bourbons and to spend their money to stock the shelves. Because I'll tell you, it's probably got the best bourbon selection in the area, and I don't think it's close.
I would have to agree. I
So-
just caught a bug, so thank you, Pam.
He is very talented.
Crawled right out of his
he's
underwear.
handling a podcast, talking about bourbon,
My hands smell
catching
terrible.
moths.
Smoking a Marlboro.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right. So let's talk about this, and then let's move on. I don't feel like we've given it enough due yet. What do you feel? How do you guys feel about the whole Cabernet deal and being finished in it for a year? Do you feel like it's made that much of a difference from the previous bourbons we've tried?
I mean, if that has anything to do with the smoothness, or I can't think of the word, smooth of it,
The smooth.
the smoothiness,
It's really smooth.
smoothiness. It's smooth.
Well, here's what I would say: if we make the assumption that the Jeffersons, the very first one we had, the Reserve, is their better standard bourbon, and they took that and put it in a Cabernet barrel, they did themselves a favor.
Yeah.
Because it definitely changed the taste and the finish, but didn't take away from the smoothness at all.
Yep.
I mean, I like it.
And one thing they do say when they move it to the wine cask or the wine barrel, it has already been fully aged. It's fully matured.
Wow,
So they're not moving it until it's been in that barrel for at least 4 years.
it's crazy.
It's a bourbon when they move it.
Yeah, it's a bourbon, and I agree. I think it's just it's unique. You're not gonna get a bourbon like this. Although there are some others that are now starting to do it. we've seen it. You've seen it at the store.
But you know what? They're not as selective. Like I got that straight edge bourbon. They do finish in wine barrels. They also get their barrels from other people. I believe initially there's a blend of 5, 7, and 9 for the straight edge. But it just says Napa Valley wine barrels. Yeah. So they're just grabbing stuff.
So do you get the sense that the old school Kentuckyites are down there saying, that ain't how you make bourbon? We make bourbon the right way. I mean, do you picture Jim Beam and Jack Daniels and those guys saying, you don't put it in a wine barrel?
I kind of do.
And these guys are like, bullshit, we're going to try this.
Right, why not?
And guess what? It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Well, and here's my thing, is he's making good blended bourbons that are just bourbons, and he's making sure they meet the criteria for bourbon, and then he's trying to add a little extra on the side. And it's not like it's their mainstay part of the brand. And I love what he's doing. I think it's excellent. I really do.
I think it's really thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's certainly a different flavor than the reserve, and it's about $30-$40 more. So, from a business perspective, I'm sure it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah.
To stick it in a wine barrel for a year, but hey, kudos to him. It's
and the crazy thing is the bourbon barrels, and we talked about this in previous podcasts. So the bourbon barrels, they are flying off the shelves. Like everybody and their mother wants a bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
People are using it for beer.
My mother doesn't. She does not.
Just about every other alcohol.
I should say she
has
unless it's wild turkey.
Wanting bourbon barrels.
Unless it's wild turkey.
Rare breed wild turkey.
Yeah, they want them for decorations, furniture. People are doing crazy things with the barrels. Everybody does want them.
Yeah, it's just such a hot commodity, and when you go down there, I mean, the people that are living and working in it, I mean, you can see how amazed they are with this bourbon boom, and it's not just the bourbon; it's everything that goes with the bourbon. It's crazy.
Well, and honestly, thank God they found something to do with the barrels, because I mean, you use the barrel once, and then you basically got to discard it. You know what I mean? So thankfully, people do want them, because otherwise, it would just be a loss after the initial, make.
Yeah.
But I like the Pritchard a lot. I just had to come back after washing my hands from the stink bug that flew in here uninvited.
The whole process just makes the whole, even just drinking bourbon just more intriguing to me.
The history behind it's just awesome.
It's different flavors.
You definitely need to do the bourbon trail.
Oh,
you both do.
It's in my plans.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's imperative, and the beauty of it is it's not far. And you're gonna go down there and you're gonna be ready to go because you're armed with some good knowledge and you've tried some great bourbons, and it's gonna make you from a little bastard to a big bastard.
I like it.
Actually, at first,
get in my belly.
At first, we're only gonna get you a medium shirt, and then once you go on the bourbon trail, then we're gonna get you the size you actually wear.
Okay. I was gonna say medium.
So this is the Groth. This is the Groth that we are definitely finishing tonight.
Yeah, we're definitely finished it. And
all right, we'll hand it over here, Dave.
Let's throw this out here. This is the all-elusive Groth that we haven't touched since the first tasting.
Yeah.
We made sure we didn't, because me and Steve found out there were other wine Jeffersons out there, and we wanted to be able to compare them. So we have not touched it since. Everybody asked to, and we say no.
Didn't we taste it at the last tasting?
No. We tasted just the Pritchard Hill.
Oh, it's a Pritchard. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew we tasted one of them, but
is this our 7th one?
Yes.
It doesn't feel like it.
No. Here's a
No, this is going by way faster than
really
normal.
quick.
It's that fucking stupid measuring cup.
A little gold nugget for this particular one. So Groth Winery in Napa, California, makes awesome Cabernets, also makes a really good Sauvignon Blanc. I've been drinking it for a long time, as Jeff can attest to, one of my favorite cabs. He definitely gets a little bit of olives in it, and it's true.
Yeah.
You do have it. But for a guy who hates olives, he still likes Groth. So that's telling you it's a really good wine.
It is.
It was the first wine from California to receive a 100-point rating from Robert Parker. Robert Parker, famous wine
Snob.
sommelier. Like all the wineries want to have a great rating from Robert
It's like
Parker
the
because
Roger Ebert
yes,
of wines.
gives it validity for sure.
That's
Okay.
nice since we're big movie fans. That was a good reference, Tom. Well
You're,
done, sir.
you're welcome.
I knew you were going to bring
And
something
who was
eventually.
it? Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert.
Yep.
Yeah,
Siskel and Ebert.
yeah.
Oh, I used to watch that show
2
all the
thumbs
time.
up.
Bye, Amanda. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amanda.
And everybody, don't forget to check out Empowered Yoga. What's the address?
2700 Sunset.
Sunset.
Next to the old spawns.
Get your yoga on.
Get your yoga.
Do you like Manini's pizza? Well, you can do yoga there now.
We could do Broga with bourbon.
Oh.
Wow.
And you just signed all 4 of us up. She said some. I'm not even sure the words she used. All I know is she said yoga and bourbon.
Yep.
And
Broga.
I'm in. Broga, is that what it was?
You just started something.
Basically, we all sit with our
Genius.
legs crossed and
She's
drink
Just
bourbon.
Genius.
created something
just-
off the whim.
We just lay down, relax, and drink bourbon.
Broga.
Thanks, Amanda. Thank you very much. All right.
And the surprises just keep on coming.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to do Broga.
Yeah, I was just thinking the
You know, if you cross your legs sitting here, you're probably kind of doing it right now.
Love this on the nose.
Oh my. Oh, that is delicious.
I get a little more flavor than the Pritchard Hill.
Same here.
I taste olives.
Yeah,
I do.
There-
Or
it's there.
something like
Nobody was supposed to mention that with this one, because now I'll taste it.
or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know, just something like that would be on a pasta or something. I don't know. Like it was
Like a
Dave-
pesto?
so when
Yeah.
we did the first
This is so fucking
bourbon
good.
tasting,
Yeah.
I can't remember in what
Might be
order
the
we
Velvet.
did it, but I remember when we had it, we were both blown away by it.
Blown away. Yeah.
And we had quite a lineup that night.
We had a great lineup. We had basically all Buffalo Trace almost, and then this. Yeah. And I'm blown away again.
I smell olives now.
I'm-
Damn, fuck you, Tommy,
Sorry.
son of a...
sorry, sir.
I need to know what
But the funny
burnished
thing is, I
means.
thought I smelled them on the Pritchard Hill, though, too.
What is burnished?
I don't know. It looks like a diabetic foot that's lost all circulation.
Or
Oh, my God.
either that or a liver that's going into cirrhosis.
Shout out to the diabetics that are listening right now.
Can you, Jacob? Can you try to look up burnished for me? I need to know what the fuck that means. Well, I'll tell you what though, I'm blown away again. I'm not even sure what I'm tasting. I just know I love every fucking bit of it.
Yeah.
It's
I really
so
do.
good.
I do like it better than Pritchard's.
The flavor is
With or without the damn olives.
I smell leather now.
the flavor is tenfold. Hold on, what does it
after I
say?
read it.
Burnished,
Polished.
verb, highly burnished. So polished? I don't taste any polish.
Highly burnished armor. So I guess that's their way of saying it's a polished bourbon.
I don't know, but it's it's really really good. If you see this, I'd be willing to pay. I think it's 80.
Well, yeah, appearance.
Yeah.
burnished-
Well, I
burnished
think
copper.
when I bought that bottle when I was actually there, and
Yeah.
it was, I believe, almost 90.
Okay.
But I think they were, it was a captive audience.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
and honestly, I think I'd go 110 if I could find it because it's hard to find.
Yeah.
I really do. I
They
think
probably
I'd go,
only made so
at
many,
this-
and when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, I'd probably go 110.
Hopefully they'll do it again.
yeah, exactly.
For the taste, I don't think I've had Scottish bread pudding, and I'm not a really big pecan guy. So, but it does taste good though.
It's amazing.
It just does. I can't get a taste that sticks out to me.
We got to get a message to what's the owner's name of Jefferson's?
Trey Zeller.
Trey. Give Camus a call.
I've heard you
Let's
guys talk
see how
about
that
Camus,
turns out
yeah.
with that vanilla.
And I,
That could be a vanilla bomb.
What's Camus?
Camus is a excellent Napa cab. Family Wagner family icons.
Okay.
Winemaking icons in Napa Valley, and their cab is $80 to $100.
And you guys are saying to have them team up?
Yeah, their cab's got a huge vanilla influence.
Okay.
And that vanilla with this caramel bourbon, sounds delicious.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm almost sad I put water in this, even though it's good with water. This is just, it's phenomenal.
I really like it.
I did. I like it with a little bit of water.
Yeah. I mean, I like it with the water.
Yeah.
It just was great to begin with.
It
All
was.
of these have been
Bless you.
really, other than the old rum cask, all of these have been like really, really smooth.
Did
Yeah.
you say olive again?
So,
I did,
All of.
all of, yeah.
all right. So
My brain with
Pritchard,
olives, I can't stand them. It's the only thing I don't like.
I'm not a fan of olives either. to be honest with
Groth.
you. I'm
I
not.
knew I liked you, Tommy.
This guy, this just really,
I just
it's Groth just blows me away.
and I hate to go back, but I don't agree with that definition of burnished. Like burnished, I'm thinking, oh, you know, I got on the bus and I sat next to this old lady and her mole looked burnished.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm gonna step away for a second. I'll be right back.
Did you see the word up there that was toasted?
Yeah,
think
it was an
maybe
actual
they're
toaster.
Kind of along the same
Yeah.
kind of lines, I guess.
You know, I'm gonna have a really hard time, and we're not done yet.
Yeah, we got.
But I'm gonna have a hard time ranking these. I really am.
Me too.
I'm pretty certain in my ranking already.
All right, don't give it. Don't.
Oh,
give
I have
it.
no intention of giving it away. Quit looking at my paper.
Tomas, what do you think? You gonna have a hard time ranking it?
Yeah. I mean, what my problem is after everyone we have, it ends up being my favorite.
Scratch
because
out the
it
one
just-
before it, raise the number.
They all taste so smooth.
Yeah.
And I think I almost like I know what my least favorite is so far, but that's kind of it. And I've had the reserve before, so it wasn't anything surprising to me.
Yeah.
And it just seems like
I think what's nice to start out with the reserve, though, is it gives you a good baseline because this is where
Yes.
everything came from.
yes. Yeah, I'm glad we started with the reserve.
Yeah.
I am. And I'm glad the old rum cask was like the second.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense for the reserve to be the first, but I obviously the reserve because of all these crazy flavors going on and all this smoothness.
Smooth.
The reserve's probably gonna be at the bottom of my list. I think.
Yeah, that doesn't make it bad though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a lot left now. We can move on and save that for a little savory, tasty
Little aftertaste.
snack,
The
Yeah.
wine one.
What we just had, yeah.
Oh, what we just had.
or
gonna
we
finish
can
this.
we can finish it.
Let's wait. Let's move on with the tasting, and then we'll come back to that.
All right.
Yeah, we're definitely finishing that tonight, though, for sure.
Just don't. Let's not.
Is that yours, Dave?
Okay. Hey. Yeah, it was actually my grandpa's, and it was one of the few things I took from his house when he passed away.
You took,
So-
you took the groth. You took the groth.
No. Oh, is the
gun.
Groth mine? I thought you meant the gun. The Groth is actually Steve's, but he gave it to me in a very generous offer.
Oh, that's what he was complaining about last week. I can't believe I did that.
I gave him a signed bottle of Groth.
I'm glad.
Fuck was I thinking?
I am glad to see that at least your Voyage 17 is also signed.
Yeah, Pam signed it.
The funny part is he gave me that one, and the next time he came, he had this rare bottle of Four Roses, and he tried to leave it here as well. And I was like, Steve, I love you, brother, and I appreciate it, but you can't just keep giving me all your really rare bottles.
Which, by the way, when I go to Philly next month, you know I'm going back to that same store where they had. Remember, they had
better.
like 8 bottles of it.
You know, that's where I got the Woodford
The chocolate,
malted.
yes, yeah, and it's not far from where we are,
No.
so I'm forcing Pam to go.
Jigger. I'll tell you the thing. I was really proud of Tommy when we went to Caddy's to check out that liquor store.
Wait, date and time. Dave's was proud of Tommy.
Thanks, Steve. Text that to me later.
Is that the second time or the first?
Well, so we're there because they were supposed to have this rare bottle of Woodford. It was on their OHOQ. They didn't end up having it, but we're looking around. Tommy sees a bottle of Four Roses single barrel, spins it to the side just
look
to
at
make
you.
sure.
See,
Good job.
I think, you lead on, especially on the podcast. Like I don't know anything about bourbon. You know a lot more about bourbon.
I'm learning.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's learning.
He likes to learn.
I'm hooked on phonics.
Bourbononics.
Bourbononics.
I gotta tell you,
Bourbonics.
I'm really excited for this one because this one is supposed to be the next level of the wine cast, and we love Groth so much that I'm really hoping that we love this just as much or more. Also, it is the most expensive bottle of Jefferson's on the table.
Name?
Yeah, Dave.
What was the price?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're the one that says the name.
Chateau Pichon Bourbon.
Oh, this is the Chateau Bourbon. Chateau Patron Bourbon. I gotta read it
You
again.
want to read that?
Sure. And I have separate notes down here too.
It's a really cool bottle too. They
is.
Do a good job with their bottles. For anybody that saves bottles, Steve.
Oh, for sure, because
Dave.
it's got a pewter
You see this in
or
there?
metal silhouette
Very, very
of
white.
Thomas Jefferson, which, by the way, he was our third president. Part of
Jeff,
the
can you?
part of the. And I don't know if Trey Zeller came up with the idea of doing the wine cast because he just is a wine lover. But when you read the descriptions of the wine bourbons that they've done, they all say how Thomas Jefferson's one of his favorite things was really good wine.
Yeah, I saw that as well. The funny thing is how he came up with the name Jefferson. If you look on their website, it gives you another story about how he went with Jefferson because Jefferson was like creative or something like that. But if you actually like read the backstory, he had no money for marketing, so he wanted a recognizable name.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Do you know what one of Thomas Jefferson's favorite things was?
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you knew, Tommy. I don't want to have to say it. Google it, kids. Google it.
So he was
He
America's
had a lot of babies.
America's first ambassador to France. So when he was in France and he was there a lot, he fell in love with Bordeaux. This is a Bordeaux. It's a world famous Bordeaux. Jeff knows way more about Bordeaux's than I do, so I'm not going to speak about those. But they're very Cab-like, very similar to Cabernets.
90 proof.
Oh man,
So what was the price of this one, Dave? You said it was the most expensive bottle.
that one goes $130.
Whew.
Oh my!
And do you know what the Groth cost?
The Groth is usually around $80.
Yeah,
I got the
I
most
paid
wine taste
90
from it.
for that bottle, but again, captive audience.
And it was signed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really starting to get the impression that Steve really did sign these bottles himself. But
I got a little bit of chocolate on that one.
yeah,
Any chocolate up there?
I forget what I was even going to say, but
Buttered corn, honey, heavy cinnamon.
I got a lot of honey.
So there's a cool little. It's not a story. It's just a technique that they do with this particular bourbon. They put it in what they call a hot box, and they do it for 4 months. I know. It was just.
She's right behind you.
Listen, there's no factual basis. I just wanted to say hot box.
Way to work it in.
There is. They bring it up to 120 degrees as they age it in these barrels from Chateau Bourbon.
Chateau.
Pichon Bourbon.
Chateau Pichon Bourbon.
And the whole idea is to make the wood sweat
Yes,
so
stupid
that the
Americans.
bourbon can be absorbed more into the wood and it takes out more flavor.
I'm looking at
Really?
the wrong-
Yes.
That's interesting. I'd never heard that before.
That's really cool. My name is Chateau Pichon
that
Bourbon.
technique is called hot box.
Hot box. My name is Chateau Patron Baron. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I got to say how ridiculous I am. I'm sitting here like trying to mouth things to Jacob like I'm not on video.
It's kind of cool though.
And
It's
trying
not
to do all this stuff to the side because we forgot to do a clap at the beginning so that we could line the video and the audio up. So I just did it now, and I'm trying to like do it over here, away from the mic, like, oh, hey, camera. And then I'm doing like this with Jake.
That's all right. They're just gonna if someone is, I guess, really wanting to see the video of it, and I would think they would want to because it's
probably
going to be pretty humorous. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, well he's 8 bourbons in. He's,
Yeah.
Bastards of
He's
Bourbon. Raw and
Clapping
uncut.
at the screen. Why is he clapping at the TV?
he's
Tommy,
in Rain Man mode.
Tommy, you know what I'm going to want you to do again, though?
What?
Oh no.
I want you to do the Princess Bride reference again.
Okay. Like right now?
Yeah, like right now.
My name is Chateau Pichon Baron. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Thank you. I didn't appreciate it enough the first time.
problem.
Yes, stupid Americans.
I was just thinking, at least you got that bug catch on camera.
That's
Like,
true.
it's pretty
I
dope.
swiped that right out of the air.
Yeah.
I like
Smell
this one a lot.
chocolate.
I have a hard time with the wines. I have a hard time picking out specific things with the wine
I
cast.
got, I got a little chocolate, even though it's not on the notes. I got a little chocolate on the finish.
I'm gonna have it
A
with
little
a little.
mocha.
I'm gonna have it with a little water. I have to be honest. My first 2 sips without water, a little bit disappointed.
I much rather drink the Groth.
And I would tell you that I like this better than the other two.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Other two, what?
The other two wine, the Pritchard and the Groth.
Okay, so okay,
I don't know.
you like it better than
Yeah.
the two?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this better than the Pritchard for sure. I'm not. I would say I'm not as disappointed as Steve, but I do like the Groth more.
Okay.
I liked the Pritchard the most.
Did you?
Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
that's what I wrote down at least.
4 people through at least 3 different opinions.
He said that's what I wrote down at least.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. I'm not sure
I
if I'm
do like
right or
it.
not.
I like this one, but I don't know. I do like the Pritchard.
I like this one a lot.
I feel like there's, and you're gonna laugh. I know you're gonna laugh, but there's too much. There's too much nuttiness on the finish, and I don't know if it's.
And I said mocha, chocolate.
Okay.
So, but
To me, it's like overpowering it, and I'm not saying it's not excellent, but
I think I'm gonna have to have another taste.
all right.
Yeah, help yourself.
Just to be safe.
And I
to be
poured it.
certain.
By the way, just for
I wa-
future
I want one
reference,
too,
anytime we're doing
'cause
these
I'm-
bourbon
I'm
tastings,
really
we drink
confused on this one.
whatever we want. The only one we were ever trying to say was the Groth, and it was for this.
Right. and that will be finished.
Yes, immediately.
You're gonna have to, put some popcorn kernels in here, something, but you can't get rid of that.
No,
bottle.
I'm definitely not getting.
I mean,
rid
that's Trey Zeller's signature forged.
of it. He said that's my. I mean, Trace.
Do you want to taste this?
I got it right here.
All right.
I'm actually going to take a little bit more of that.
I'm not gonna waste my palate on that.
Oh, Jesus!
I know.
Man, that was a Yellowstone.
I was
comment.
going to say he went Yellowstone on us.
I got a taste of nutmeg.
Here's the thing.
I get
Maybe
that.
that's yeah, that might be it.
Not to be confused with Meg Nut.
Oh, my bad. I don't even know what Meg nut is.
I have no idea.
He just said the word nuts in there, so it's
Yeah,
funny. It's,
It was kind of cool.
yeah, there's definitely a nutty, chocolatey, but
There's something.
I like that. I guess I like that.
I don't mind it. I really enjoyed the sweetness of the Pritchard more than this. That's all.
There's something here, and I don't know what it is, but it just is not agreeing with me.
I'll tell you what.
And
there's-
again, I'll say it's nuttiness.
Yeah.
It's
but-
towards the end. It's like not the aftertaste, but when you swallow, that's what I don't. I'm not like like a big fan.
I'll tell you what there isn't. Olives.
no olives.
That's why
Yeah.
you like it the most.
Honestly, Dave, I think that's
Yeah.
it because I thought there was an olive smell or taste in the Pritchard Hill too,
Right.
and we drank that before we got to the Groth,
Yeah.
and I wasn't so sure that there was olives in the Groth, and then of course Pam said, "Oh yeah, there's olives," and Tommy's like, "Oh yeah, I smell olives." Ah shit, there's got to be olives in it.
Hey, Jeff is like, when everybody quit fucking saying
Damn it.
olives.
I just don't like black olives so much. I ate pasta salad one time at like a party, and I did a keg stand, and I threw up all olives,
Oh, it was the olives' fault.
and I'll never eat black olives again.
I want to know what kind of fucking parties you were going to where they had pasta salad and cake stands.
Fucking adult. It was a fucking adult party. It was a fucking awesome
Well,
party
yeah.
in Columbus.
Where you screwed up was doing the pasta salad first.
Yeah, that was my mistake. But my keg stand was legendary.
I have to say this keeps growing on me more and more. I
All right, I'll try some more.
do
Attaboy.
I do still prefer the Groth, but I'm not disappointed.
Well, here's
by
what we're going to
this.
do. After we taste this, then we're going to go back and finish the Groth
Yeah,
and have one more final before we do our rankings.
yeah, I'm with
Because
that.
there's a little bit of back and forth here.
Yeah.
Because
we
yeah,
went
right.
really quick too, so I like that idea.
Well, plus we're just gonna keep drinking and bullshitting anyway.
Yeah.
Because I mean, right now the
it wasn't this,
Chateau
we'd be drinking glasses.
Pichon Bourbon is probably middle pack for me. Middle pack.
Really?
Middle.
Wow.
I'm on the same page, Steve.
That's okay. That's why we're all four here.
Yeah.
And kids, this is another lesson in bourbon drinking. You might like something that somebody else doesn't like. Doesn't mean you're wrong.
Jeff,
You're
that's
actually
a lesson
very special.
That's a lesson in life.
It is a lesson in life.
You
Tommy.
don't have to
Yeah.
like the
You can
same
apply
things,
that.
guys.
Right.
No, I actually hate Steve now.
We're shocked that you lasted this long, Dave.
And the point of it is really, obviously, we're giving our opinions, in some cases, very strong opinions.
Yeah.
But it's to give you an idea of like, all right, do I really want to buy this bourbon? And you find out kind of a little bit about each of our taste profiles.
Yeah.
And someone says, well, you know what? I really like what Tommy is saying about these bourbons. So I'm gonna buy the bourbons he's suggesting or he likes.
So I'm gonna buy Evan Williams. I'm just kidding.
So it's kind of like the episode of Seinfeld where Elaine is going and she's buying videos based on Gene's suggestions. And then this young kid, whippersnapper, comes up and he's got all these suggestions. And she starts loving his movies. And then she goes back in because she can't get his movies anymore because she finds out he's underage and she was trying to buy him cigarettes and liquor. So she goes up and she's talking to the guy working at the video store, and the guy comes to her and says, well, what about Gene's picks? What's wrong with Gene's picks? And she looks at him and she goes, Gene is trash. And he looks back at her and he goes, I'm Gene.
I feel like I'm Gene in this case.
That was very relevant, Steve. Honestly,
that was good.
We
That was
all
really
have different
good.
opinions, and
Well, and it's okay to have difference of opinions, and you're going to. Not everybody's taste buds are going to be the fucking same. That's all there is
I'm
to
like
it.
starting to get scared. I can't taste anything. I taste alcohol and water.
I'm impressed we got whippersnapper and hot box into the podcast tonight. There's one more word that we haven't fit in yet, but we'll see if we can get there.
What am I? I'm just sitting
So
here
my
trying to
second
rank mine.
tasting of this is it's better. There's something there, though, that keeps tugging me down.
Like me with the
in
salt.
in the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
towards the end of like the whole taste palette kind of thing. Like
It's almost like it's too floral, if that makes any
Okay,
sense.
yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
too much flour there.
yeah.
I don't get that.
I used to eat a lot of
I
potpourri
don't-
when I
I
was a
don't get
kid.
that
I got
and that's
nutty
what
and
it's reminded-
chocolatey.
Well, it's the nutty, but it's the nutty flour. You know, something there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not getting
there's
it.
something
But
towards the end that
every-
I'm just not at, like it's throwing me off.
Yeah.
But everybody told me I was crazy when I kept saying I tasted a lot of salt in the Voyage 17, and come to find
Dave,
out it's full of salt.
There's a shitload of salt.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I
Is
don't
that
know how
much salt
people.
in it?
To me, on the taste, yeah.
Damn.
I don't get as much salt as Dave, but there's definitely salt.
Yeah.
And again, it's just going to all depend on how many taste buds you've killed or muted through whatever vices you may have.
I have all
Whether
of them.
it be smoking Newport menthols or chewing tobacco, smoking cigars.
Yes.
and Marlboro Milds.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marlboro Miles.
I'm the
Ooh, that
Newports.
sounds good.
Had a nice leaf by Oscar last night. Man, was it good.
Man, which one?
The Maduro.
I love the.
Or, I'm sorry, the Sumatra.
I
had
love the Sumatra. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, really good.
my
I like the
favorite.
Next time you're in
Connecticut,
there,
too.
I'll have to show you. This is a Garden Grow. I'll have to show you another Sumatra leaf in there that's excellent.
Okay,
No.
cool.
All
All right,
I
so
wanna
let's
go
have
back to
the.
this Groth.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go fucking around and get back to this deliciousness.
Well, I'm curious to see how this tastes now after this one.
I do want to see the pourer again because again we have very limited amount. Oh, here it is.
It might not be. I don't know if it's clean or not.
Yeah.
Oh, we're only at 90 minutes. That was a quick.
It was.
tasting.
Hey, Pam, is there any way I could get you to get me another bottle of water, please? Thank you. Oh man, we're gonna have to go real low with this.
Put that
Yeah,
bitch.
pass it over here. We'll go first this time.
You can give me the least.
I think there's 4 of those in there, Dave. It's pretty close.
I'm going with a fourth instead of a half,
Okay.
just to be safe.
Do
We'll
them.
see how it goes.
Do them next.
No, take a little bit, Tommy.
Don't be shy, Tommy. Don't be shy.
I'm nervous. This is the Groth.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Go ahead, guys.
So that's the one before the last one we had.
but I
Should
will
I-
take that actually. I will.
Should I
You know
add
I will.
water?
I'll take that.
Should I add water to this or no? No.
I say no.
Screw top. It's a screw top.
You can add water to it, but you will not be asked back for the bourbon tastings.
Fair enough.
Yeah, don't add water to this one.
Can I get a chaser, please? Coca-Cola.
Bush Light.
Bush Light. It's crazy how many people drink Bush Light, man.
There
Working
it
at
is.
Kroger's
Oh,
now.
I can't There's one more
stand
drop in
Busch
there.
Light, man.
I'll take that.
Wow.
I feel like I'm working.
My mother and your mother were out.
Sorry, I give myself a very little bit, and I'm a very big fan.
All right. So I'm curious how this is after the
Well, and I want to go ahead and give a salute to this, too.
Salute.
Salute.
Bastards of Bourbon.
To the Bastards of Bourbon. May our reign be long.
Yes. I love it. That was awesome.
You big bastards, you.
God, I love this.
Yeah.
What's the Monty Python?
I beat the Pritchard.
Your mother was a hamster, and your. Come on, there's a bastard reference in there somewhere.
I don't know. I'm not good with Monty Python. I'm not even good at movie quotes. I'm the worst at it.
I don't know about that.
Maybe
we're-
not the
that's
worst.
good.
Actually, yeah, because I've thrown out a lot of
yeah,
like
Get
plays
in my
off
belly.
quotes.
And you cried when you were talking about Rudy.
yeah. Listen, by far my favorite.
Did you see that?
My favorite
I
top
was
five.
emotional.
My favorite top five. You were emotional. It made us emotional.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad I missed that one.
I don't know though. I think I got more emotional because Dave picked Mighty Ducks 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
I want.
D2,
I picked D1.
D2 was an honorable mention of mine, I think.
I picked D1.
Yeah, and I
D1
I talked about
as
D2.
like your number 2. Wasn't it your number 2?
3 because I wanted to add a hockey movie, which I have since taken back and replaced with Mystery Alaska.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I brought up Mystery Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
The Quack
Mystery
Attack.
Alaska.
Back.
you would like it.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Re-
Oh, okay.
yeah, really good.
Yeah. Man,
All right, so this is really good.
that Groth is just.
Groth is really good.
It's phenomenal.
Completely different taste.
Completely
Yeah.
different. 100%.
Yeah.
100% different. I love both.
Yeah. I'd be happy to come over and drink either with you.
Yes.
Or if I had them,
Yeah.
have you come over and drink them with me.
I
Those
was.
are very tasty.
I'm definitely ready to rank.
Actually, I'll tell you,
Yeah, I am
all of
too.
the Jeffersons were good tonight. We didn't have a Yellowstone in a bunch.
No, what's crazy is
And-
we tasted 8 bourbons from the same maker,
Yep,
and they were all worth drinking.
absolutely.
Every one of them. I would recommend buying it. The only one I would say a little rough because of the price point is the Rum Cask.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the price
Yeah.
point, still a good bourbon.
That's probably
Good
the only
bourbon.
one on the list that I wouldn't buy.
Just because of the price point,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'd drink it with you,
yeah.
but I don't think I'd buy it because the reserve for $40 is. Oh, I have it ranked above,
yeah.
actually.
If it was 40, I might buy it again. But at almost $100, no.
No. I wonder if they'll make it again.
I doubt it.
And my
It
feeling
might be why it's not on the website.
and my feeling is that bourbon's just not meant to be aged at all in a rum cask. It's not like it was bad, but
I'm glad you finished that with Rum Cask.
I'd
Like,
ra-
what?
I
You don't
just
age it?
I'd rather it not be. I had another one. What was that one that was with It was that bottle from Steubenville Kroger that was
that narrows
behind the
it down.
counter.
The Joseph Magnus?
Yeah, what was that with?
Oh,
Cognac.
yes.
I
yes.
didn't like. I was. I
It
just
did okay. We did it, and we did that.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah,
It grows
and
on
we-
me every time.
Yeah. And we were a little
I would just-
disappointed because of the price point. It was
Yeah.
very good, but it was expensive.
Almost $90.
I just don't think you should mess with bourbon like that though.
Well,
like that.
You say
like
that, but then we
rum.
like the wine.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, well, no, I get what you're
What
saying.
are you looking at
but,
over there?
Like, there's plenty of bourbons that I
Bottom
like a
shelf in the
lot
back.
more
Is that a
than,
Willet?
than the wine ones, though.
No.
Okay.
I
can
no,
only see
Tommy,
two letters.
I
You
think
said
you,
bottom shelf in the back?
I mean, there's a certain amount of innovative ideas that it's worth trying, but I also think there's this feeling of, oh well, let's just put this out or put that out.
That's the Weller
And
Special Reserve on the bottom
That's the
shelf.
green label.
They're not really
Yeah,
giving it much time.
Belongs
Like
there.
this guy, he's doing it the right way.
He is the one
What
with
am I
the
doing?
wines. He really is. I just like the rum. I just wasn't really like a huge fan.
Yeah.
And that might also have to do with the fact that I'm not a rum drinker. I don't really like rum.
I can be, but
That's
it's
the,
not frequent. You know what I
that's
mean?
the-
Like I have to be in the right kind of like taste mood for rum, but I never drink rum straight. So and that kind of like helps me understand why I like. You know, I guess I could say I'm not a rum drinker. I guess.
I'd like it to be noted tonight that we finally found something that Steve doesn't drink.
Rum.
No rum. Yeah.
I don't. It gives me heartburn. I don't get a lot of flavor. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have rum behind my bar.
Well, that's for your guests.
I have Jamaican.
He has an awesome bar, by the way.
Appleton rum.
It's an amazing bar.
Yeah, it is.
Have you ever had Captain Morgan Private Stock?
That's good.
I've not.
Now, it's the first drink I ever drank straight and
never
preferred
did
it that way.
Wow.
I had it. I would drink it on the rocks. They carried it at Triple Play back in the day for specifically me because I drank it on the rocks. But I had it the other day, and now it's just entirely too sweet for me.
Yeah.
Entirely too sweet.
If I'm drinking rum, I'm drinking in.
But it's good.
I'm drinking it in like some sort of like cocktail
Mixer.
or mixer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like that's.
Yeah.
And that's really the only time I've ever like I never said to myself, "Oh yeah, let me get a glass of rum." Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
not gonna do that. I'm not a pirate.
Well,
Hey, put a patch on. Hey,
Yo ho, yo ho.
and a bottle of rum.
Rape a few people.
it's funny he says.
Look
he's
at
not-
me.
It's funny. I was gonna say it's.
Look at me.
It's funny he says he's not a pirate. He's been talking about pirates all goddamn night. I say let's get to the rankings, then we'll BS. But I
Okay.
think we're gonna start with Tommy's rankings.
That's probably a good idea. Okay, just read them 8 through 1. Leave the best for last.
Yeah, best for last.
Okay, so I have my
No, actually, no. Other way. Start with number one.
Okay.
Mama Hammer walked in.
My number one, I chose based on my notes, Voyage 21. And I think what I liked about it. Do I have to explain these?
Wait. You started at number one?
Yeah, we're gonna start with number one. That's how we always do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with number one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
That was my favorite. Was the Voyage 21?
I don't blame you for that.
Yeah,
It's not my number one, but I don't blame you for that.
It was the sweetness of it, and just I think because it was towards like the middle. I don't know. It's just like out of all the ones that were smooth, it was my favorite. So that's my
And dare we say, because I haven't said that yet, I say that a lot. It's because you wish you were 21 again.
damn straight.
I hated that guy. He didn't drink bourbon. For myself.
Dude, my 21st year of my life was the worst.
Oh man, you got arrested.
The day before I turned 21.
Oh, Jesus.
The night before I turned 21, I had a kegger at my house.
I was there.
Yeah, and I got arrested for underage drinking.
Yeah.
The night before and then I couldn't go out the next night because the cops lost my ID.
By one day, they actually arrested you.
Oh yeah, they were pissed
Yeah.
because we didn't answer the door right away.
Which police?
Kent State Police.
We'll get back to the story because it's a good one. It's a good one. There's a lot to that.
So 2 was the Groth. After that last drink of it, I loved it. 3 was Pritchard Hill. 4 was the Voyage 17.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I really liked it. 5 was the Ocean's 19.
Oh wow.
6 was I named it the French one, but the show Chateau Pichon Bourbon.
Oh, that was all the way down
Yeah.
there for you,
The
huh?
Bordeaux, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. I liked a lot of the different Voyage ones. I really did. I didn't hear what he said, but I'm just gonna ignore him.
No, he Yellowstoned it.
No, I'm on your side, brother.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he
on your
is.
side.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on your side.
So 7. I put the Reserve. I would have put the Reserve higher, to be honest with you, because I really do like it. But like, all the other ones just added so much more flavor to the.
Yeah.
It was just like I was drinking like Reserve on steroids or something.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like we just drank a whole lot of really good bourbon.
yeah.
It very much is.
And then,
But you're right, Tommy. We took the reserve and we added to it.
Exactly. And then obviously 8 was the old rum cask.
You might as well just talk about it because you're on camera.
What do you want?
I'm in too.
What?
E.H.
Taylor.
Yeah.
You mean the Colonel?
The Colonel.
You want some?
I do.
The father of Bottle and Bond. Yeah. Tommy's getting it, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll get. I'm gonna.
He just got done with his anyway. All right.
I don't know. Can he reach it?
Here. Put this one back. Because, yeah, you know.
All right, Jeff, we're gonna go with you. Save the Bastards
two
of Bourbon.
big bastards for last. Oh, mine's a little bit different. Except number one is the Voyage 21.
Yes.
Oh yeah, your number one is Voyage 21.
Yeah, I
So
really.
that's two. That's two for 21.
I
right,
really like
Thomas?
that.
Yeah.
And it's was definitely the highest proof. Absolutely full of flavor. I'm so sorry I didn't buy one when you had it. I'm going to try to find one online.
How many times did I text you about it too?
At least twice. I'm like, nah.
You're like, it's $100.
Yeah.
You know.
Dave doesn't know what he's talking about.
So here's where we get different. So number 2 for me was Voyage 19.
Oh, okay.
I really like the Voyage 19.
I do enjoy it as well.
Super smooth. I thought it was full flavor. Third for me, and this is where Steve and Tommy aren't going to agree, was the French Bordeaux.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about the nuts. Something about them nuts I liked.
I do have to say,
But there was a chocolate taste to me.
I got a little bit of hint of chocolate too.
Mocha.
Yeah, mocha is what I
on the
would say.
finish, but
I do have to say real quick, we are going to forever refer to trashing a bourbon as Yellowstoning it.
Yeah.
Because you went hard in the paint on the
I'm
podcast.
sorry about that, but
No, it's okay. I'm glad you did because he didn't go hard. Steve did not go hard on the paint on Weller Special Reserve.
No, I
and
didn't. I was trying to. I was trying to ease it up because
Yeah.
I was worried that I was like, "Ooh, maybe this is too harsh."
yeah, and I forget what the other one was.
The other one was Statesman.
Statesman, and literally when we were not on air, he handed them both to me and said, "You can just put those in the trash," but he wouldn't do it on air. So I'm glad you did it on air because I think you should.
well, that's
That's what we're here
no
for.
offense to Yellowstone, but
That's what we're here
the
for.
way we tasted that. Anyway, let me
Yeah.
get back to tonight. So I got the 21, the 19, the Bordeaux. Then I've got the Groth. Then I've got the Pritchard. And then I've got Voyage 17. And I might like to taste that again. The saltiness was a little over the top for me.
It's too much for me.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a little too much for me too.
Like you said, the rock. I think it's made for a rock.
Yep. And then I got I kind of feel bad. I got the Reserve 7th out of 8. But I would tell anybody that's listening and wants to get a great bourbon for under $50, go buy the Jefferson Reserve. You're not going to
Be disappointed. It's
Yeah.
excellent. It really
It's
is.
great value too.
We just have a lot of great bourbon on the table when it
Yes.
comes to Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whereas last time we had kind of like the high highs and the low lows. This stuff's all great tonight.
Yeah.
It's all really good.
Yeah.
The Rum Cask was my least favorite, but it didn't suck.
Right.
Like I said, I'd drink it with you guys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it.
I wouldn't buy it for
Way overpriced.
I wouldn't buy it for almost $100 again, without a doubt.
If you can get the Reserve for 40, if I could get the Rum Cask for 40, I'd probably have a bottle, but not for 95 to 100.
Yeah.
So, but
There it is.
so there it is. So it's a lot different, other than the first one. Kind of a lot different from what Tommy had, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a lot different from what Steve has.
You'd be surprised.
We're gonna have a good mix here, I think.
Okay.
It's gonna be
You're actually going to be surprised. We are very similar with where we ranked a lot of bourbons.
Our ones were the same, weren't they?
Well, our drinking tastes.
yeah,
are,
your ones were the same.
yeah, but
So-
our drinking tastes are extremely similar
Yeah.
in that we like everything.
And that we like bourbon. You wanna know why?
Some of our friends laugh at us
Because bourbon tastes good.
bourbon tastes good. But some of our friends will laugh at us. They'll say, "Well, how was that?" And we answer the same way. "Oh, it was delicious. It was delicious." Like we're eating a piece of
A fine steak.
finely cooked steak. Yeah.
All right, me or you? Actually, you know what? I would not have been doing the bourbon tastings on the podcast if it was not for Steve. I would not have been a fan of bourbon if it wasn't for Steve. So Steve gets last call.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
agree with
such a
that.
pleasant surprise. Thank you.
All right, so for mine's a little bit different, kind of similar at the same time. I'm gonna go number 1, Groth. I really, really love that Groth, man. The wine cast I have a hard time distinguishing flavors from, but I really, really enjoy that Groth.
Have to ask a quick question. Have you had the Groth cab?
No.
Okay, we
No.
need to make that happen.
Yeah, I would
Mary.
love to make
Mary
that
has
happen.
it at the
Oh,
store.
does she?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
She typically has it.
Okay.
I've
I'd
got
like to
3 of
try
them in my
that.
cellar.
Yeah.
Okay. You got.
I've got one of each
It-
left.
it-
11,
you?
12, and 13.
I've only got.
I expected you to have a
different
different kind of cellar, not a wine one.
one that you keep a gimp in.
I don't get it. You mean with chains and
Yeah. Just fucking around.
Marcellus Wallace.
be quiet down there. Be quiet.
It's like
It puts
All
this
right.
lotion on
it
its
puts
skin.
the lotion. So then
just
for
gonna say
me, the number 2 is actually going to be Tommy.
Tommy's your number 2.
No, Tommy, how do you say it?
You.
Chateau Pichon Baron.
I'm gonna go with that for the number 2. To be honest, there's
I
a
didn't
good
think
chance
you liked it that much.
there's a good chance I probably should have put it above the 20. I was disappointed with compared to the Groth. That was my thing. But I'm not disappointed to the extent that Steve was. And the 21 maybe should have taken that place. I love the creativity. I think is part of what stuck in my head about it. I love the creativity.
Yeah, all right.
And so then obviously the number 3 is going to be the Voyage 21, packed full of flavor. The higher alcohol content, I think it shows every time that it packs the flavor. I think actually, quick note, the only distillery that seems to pack that crazy amount of flavor without the higher alcohol content is Buffalo Trace. I mean, Blanton's packed full of flavor,
Right.
doesn't hit over 100.
Yep.
You know, I don't know what they do over there, but they're doing something right.
Yeah.
But so back to Jefferson's 21, my number 3. My number 4 is the 19. That weeded bourbon is incredible. Really enjoyed it. Then I'm going to go Pritchard. Then I'm going to go, surprisingly, because I thought for sure this was going to be last on my list because of the saltiness and how I felt about it before. Then I'm going 17. Then I'm going Reserve. I think we all have this one right.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's the 7 is Reserve, 8 is the rum.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's just because all the other ones were packed with so much more taste than the reserve, because of what
You
we
mean
said
the-
earlier.
Yeah.
It's just.
I wonder if we'd have done them in reverse order.
Yeah,
I mean, we
right.
might have been blown away by what we tasted first, because that's what happened with the Widow Jane.
You're right, though. We might have
But,
ended up saying,
we
"Oh, yeah,
started
the reserve
out
is the best."
with really good bourbon, but
Yeah.
then we just kept adding to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually should say from that last tasting real quick before I forget that Widow Jane, to me, did ruin the tasting for us a little bit, starting with it because it is so goddamn good. But because I had the Yellowstone, I was very, very disappointed on that podcast with Yellowstone. I had it again. I didn't blow my socks off, but I enjoyed it more than I did on that tasting. That being said, Steve,
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
the godfather of Bastards of Bourbon.
All right.
Yeah, Tam.
Don't forget you're on camera.
You're on camera.
Love it. Love it.
That was Mama Hammer, everybody.
Banging on the kick drum.
So, Tommy, I think you'll be happy to know, I also have the 21 Voyage as number 1.
Wow, that's 3 out of 4.
Makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah.
Even when you said it, I was like, yes.
And what stood alone for me on that is, yes, I get it. It's a big boy bourbon, and I already went through it in great detail earlier in this podcast. It just had the most flavor for me. And it wasn't that it was less smooth or it had too much alcohol.
No.
The flavor was too much for me to ignore, so I put it number 1.
Just to touch on that, I feel like I have to. I keep putting these other ones above that, those 2 above it, because of the creativity. Because it's for sure one that I could pick the notes out of.
Yeah.
And I couldn't pick the notes out of the wines. I just really enjoyed it, but I could pick the notes out of that 21.
Yeah.
I have a new ranking, though. E.H. Taylor is now number 1.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn it.
Which, by the way, we have all decided to taste D.H. Taylor, which if you're watching the video, you know that because you can see that we have broken that bottle open.
Good Lord. The
Number
greatest
2
$40
will
bottle
be
of
no
bourbon.
surprise to Dave because we both absolutely love this bourbon, is Groth. And I put it at number 2.
So did Tommy.
And I could have put it at 1, but it just didn't have quite the flavor that 21 has.
Yeah.
But I just, first of all, I love Groth, the wine, so it's hard for me to not love a bourbon that's aged in a Groth barrel. but I love all the flavors. So Groth gets number 2 for me. Number 3 is the 19 Voyage. Really enjoyed the 19 Voyage.
It's really excellent.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, the wheated, it's got some unique flavors. There's a little sweetness there, but not too much.
Yeah.
I tasted the caramel from that the most.
Yeah, yeah. So excellent, and it reminded me of Weller, and I love Weller. So it gets number 3 for me. Number 4 is Pritchard. Really, really good. It just isn't quite as good as the Groth, but still excellent. Number 5, Tommy, Chateau.
But I can't remember that fucking middle word.
Pichon, Baron.
Chateau Pichon, Baron. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Where's the cockroach? So I don't need to say anything more about that. Obviously, I didn't like it as much as Jeff and Dave. I don't know where Tommy had it. I think it was right around mine, 5.
Right below you at 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
6, yeah.
It's not, I don't think it's worth the price. I wouldn't buy it. Sorry, Bean. But I love the bottle. Such a cool bottle. And I'm going to try it again.
Really cool bottle. I would prefer it be around 100 too compared to 130.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 6, I have Ocean 17.
It's pretty common ranking there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm the same the whole way out as everybody else. I got the Special Reserve as 7 and Old Rum Cask as 8. So we were actually more similar than you think.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah,
We
we
had
really
a lot
were.
of similarities. It's like the top 5 were actually the top 3 or 4 were
Kinda
mixed
intermingled.
around.
Yeah.
Jeff, where was your Groth at?
My Groth was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and listen, it was as you know, everybody likes to hear, it was delicious.
Yeah.
But so were the rest of them.
Right.
It's when you have to rank them. I couldn't put it above the Bordeaux because I liked the finish of the Bordeaux better.
Yeah.
And you know, you guys mentioned olives, and I had, but the Groth was fantastic, and I would drink it. I would drink it. And I would buy it.
You've really got an olive problem.
Yeah, I do.
But the consensus is no doubt the 21 is the best bourbon.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 of the 4 that picked it as 1,
Yeah.
and,
Dave had it third.
and the other guy had it.
because
3.
he likes the ingenuity of the
And
of the wine.
I think
And
that I think that's a block for me because, like I said, I could pick out the distinctive notes of the 21, and it was packed full of flavor. You could taste layers, like I said in the one podcast. There's layers to that bourbon. I feel like there's something about the ingenuity that is a block for me, and I really love it. Even though the Pritchard fell down to 5, I can't argue the fact that you guys all had 21 at number 1.
Sure.
I can't argue it.
Yeah.
But you know, the Bordeaux being $130, and I had it 3rd, and Dave, you had it 2nd. I don't know. I'd have a hard time buying. I'd probably buy 1 bottle.
Yeah.
I probably
have
wouldn't
one
buy.
bottle.
But
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't buy another one.
No, but if it was at 100, do you think you would? Over 130?
Maybe.
80, 90, 100?
80, 90, I'd probably maybe buy
Yeah.
2 or 7. But when you start looking at the value, I mean, you can still go down to the reserve at $39.95 and
Right.
go, shit, give me
Yeah.
a case of that right now.
Yeah, and I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
everybody that listens to this and is curious about bourbon, go get the $40 bottle
Honestly,
and enjoy it. 'Cause it's
seriously.
Start
good.
there.
Right. Start
Start
I
there
do think
and
it is-
see what the other ones do to it.
I do think it is a little above 40. It may even be 50,
40.
but regardless, it is good.
Yeah.
And I'd pay either price for it. I'd pay 40 or 50,
You know,
without a doubt.
At some point, if we do an under $50 bourbon ranking, I bet you the Jefferson's Reserve is in the top 3 to 5.
Yeah.
That's a good.
So-
that's a good taste.
I mean,
of it,
E.H.
too.
Taylor's in that category, and it's going to have a hard time beating E.H. Taylor. But
Well, yeah.
still, top
Yeah.
3 to 5 under $50 bourbons. Listen, that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Solid.
The
Yeah.
one that I talked to Steve about that we're probably looking forward to the least is under 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I think I'm having a root canal that night. Funny, my dentist office is open that night. At 8
That's
o'clock
going to
at
be
night.
painful, but what's going to happen is we're going to find that under $25 bourbon
We're gonna
that,
find
Yeah.
we're gonna
that
find
drinks like a $50 bourbon, and it's gonna enlighten everyone.
we're gonna find the next benchmark.
Enlightenment. Yeah.
right.
I can't remember if it was on air or not, but you did taste the
Yeah.
benchmark, and it's good.
I have to say,
It's shocking.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it's not like it's your favorite bourbon,
Yeah.
but you would not expect to even enjoy a $10 a fifth bourbon.
That's right.
And it's good.
I would expect to have that with diet something.
Yeah,
And
but I'll drink that on the rock all day.
And I'm going to put one up there right now that I think will be my number one, but who knows what else we're going to find between now and then. Old Granddad Bottled in Bond.
Yeah.
It's $20 a bottle.
Never had it.
I'm gonna take a piss. You guys keep going.
By the way, I haven't gone yet. Dave has gone 3 times.
As per usual.
I don't even think I have to go. Not even
So-
close. But you're right, Steve. That's a damn good for a $20 bourbon.
Are these going to be mostly around 80 proof if they're under $25?
No.
Or what was
so
the dollar
so the
amount?
Bottled in Bond, give you a little, I don't want to say lesson because then it sounds like, it's the big bastard talking to the little bastard.
But it is.
It's okay.
So the bottled
me.
the bottled in bond means that it has to be 100 proof. That's
Okay.
what bottled in
Okay.
bond means.
Okay.
Has to be 100
Dave
proof.
told me that. I remember that now.
Yeah. So the old Granddad, obviously, bottled in bond is 100 proof.
Gotcha.
So we can find some really good under $25 bourbons that are 100 proof. But you're right. Most of them are probably going to be minimum 86. So you're not going to
There's
get
nothing
anything
wrong with that, though.
No.
I was just
You're not going to
asking.
get anything less than 86 proof.
Okay. Nothing less?
Nothing less. Do
Isn't the larceny in Basil Hayden's 80 proof?
I doubt it.
Or not
I
Basil
think
Hayden's. Basil Hayden's is plus that. I thought the larceny was only 80 proof.
it cannot be considered a bourbon if it's not at least a minimum of 86
Okay, gotcha,
proof.
Coach. I didn't realize that. Really?
Otherwise, it's just a whiskey.
Well, that's more than 25 though. The larceny, I thought was. Yeah, that's 80 proof, isn't it? Yeah.
And does it say bourbon?
It says Basil Hayden's.
Oh.
was plural.
At the top, it says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Yep.
Oh, we're in a conundrum, aren't we?
I think we might be.
So it has to be 86 proof to be considered a bourbon.
Well,
Apparently it has to be 80.
apparently it only has to
Well,
be
it's
80.
2020 now, so they like everything.
my-
Everything is just
But that says bourbon whiskey.
okay. Okay.
Are you into old fashions yet?
Oh, I love old fashions. That's
So-
before I started drinking like bourbon like this. I drank old fashions all the time.
Get yourself a bottle of the old Granddad Bottle and Bond
Okay.
and make yourself an old fashioned with it.
I had
Fantastic.
a Basil Hayden's rye old fashioned at
The
Garden
dark
Grove.
rye?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, some
Dave
of
made
our buddies say they really like that
Yeah, it
a
was good.
lot.
So, one more time. Bye. See ya.
Oh, actually, I wanted to clear some of these off. and
One
grab
more
some
time. What
other
did you say to
bourbons.
make the old fashioned with?
The old Granddad Bottled and Bond.
Old Granddad bottled and bond.
And you'll see when you see the old Granddad, there's a green label across it that says Bottle and Bond. It's like $19.95 or $21.95. Or do yourself a favor and get a bottle.
Take a picture of that.
We have dead air. It's dead air.
The E.H. Taylor is outstanding.
They can still see us. It's fine.
Yeah, not the people that are just listening.
So what else would be in this under
Well,
$25 bottle tasting?
Uh-oh.
Like, are you guys still searching?
no, I would love to have
putting some
Buffalo.
friends out
I would
there.
love to have Buffalo Trace in it. It's just beyond the 25.
Yeah.
If we do under 30,
Yeah.
then
I
the
think you
Buffalo
guys should
Trace.
make it maybe under 30.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't
Well,
know.
it would just
I
kinda
mean,
feel like
are you
it
going to
too.
be able to find enough under
Yes.
25?
Yeah. Oh, I
Jesus
think
Christ.
so. Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
the thing is, and you guys are
Ancient
talking.
age.
You guys are talking about trying to get a bunch of ones that we know we like in there. The thing to this is getting ones that we don't know we like and may hate. That's going to be part of the entertainment value.
Yeah, good point.
Well, I'll throw
Okay.
one out right now. So Jim Beam has a single barrel. I believe it's only $22.
Have you had it?
No, but I'd like to try it.
I think I would,
I would
too.
too. Yeah.
I honestly, I would like to be a part of that under 25 tasting.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I made the cut or not, but knowing Dave, he'll try to get somebody like new on the table.
Nah, I like the 4 we have right here, right now.
Yeah, me too.
Cinnamon.
Don't you, Tommy?
Cinnamon. Yes. It's the
Thanks, Dave.
it's the fifth and fourthum.
Why is he giving me ice? I don't use ice.
Oh no.
Real man.
We have a
Jeff has an
non-icer.
Real
Jeff
man.
has an ice cube in his
non-icer.
glass.
Real men don't use ice.
True.
No, that's not true. There's no wrong way to drink bourbon.
No wrong way to drink bourbon.
I have
Well, I figured
I
we
bought,
have the Glencairns, so if we want it neat, we got it. If we want something on the rock, we got it.
at my house. I have ice cube makers.
I forgot
that,
my glass.
They're in the shape of the Death Star. Yeah. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Wednesday night. I drank all my glasses of bourbon. I had 4 glasses of bourbon. They were all over Death Star.
You said
ice
Wednesday
cubes.
night, right,
Nice.
Tommy?
It was
Nice.
Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday night for you?
So
This Wednesday it was. Yeah.
Attaboy.
It was a long day.
You're invited back.
Yeah.
I don't care what these two guys say.
So I got the. Have you ever had the skull cubes?
No,
Those
I haven't.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I always wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have them?
I do.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I ordered them right
Go
at the
nuts,
beginning of the pandemic because I figured, if I'm going down with skull
That's why I
cubes.
picked the Death Star ones.
Now, something
badass.
I did want to get into. First of all, that 1920, because that is probably still in my top 5 or 6 bourbons.
Love it.
It's really good. But I wanted to get into old fashions real quick because I think we can be in agreement now. You guys have had a couple of my old fashions. I make a good old fashioned. Is that correct?
You make a very good
You do.
old fashioned.
Damn good.
But I had never had one until just the other night.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'd never had one before. Yeah,
How long have you
Wow,
been making
because
them?
you make them
I've been making them a long time.
great.
Wow.
Yeah. But unfortunately, my first drink, because you guys love old fashions, you guys are fanatics for them, and as a lot of people are. But my first drink, I was like, oh shit, I see why people drink these. These are really fucking good. As I got about halfway, it started to be too sweet for me, and I was getting.
I told you, quit using so much simple fucking syrup.
Yeah.
I use what I give for you guys.
Well, that was the right amount.
Yeah, I use 1/4 of an ounce.
Still
of
too
simple
sweet.
syrup. Still too sweet.
Are you getting
and
any-
I got a lot of cinnamon out of it, which I didn't like. I started to feel like, and I thought in my head, this is why every once in a while at Valley Wine Cellar, Steve will grab those little fireballs and give everybody shots of them because it's got that sweetness and cinnamon to it.
Are you getting any of that cherry juice in your drink?
I didn't really get much cherry juice in mine.
Okay, because that's a sugar syrup.
Well,
Yeah.
and the other big thing that's going to make a huge difference is, are you using, because it's a staple for us. We have to have two. I say have to, don't, because it depends on where you're getting it made and how they're going to make it. But we do 2-ounce pours.
Yeah.
At least,
Yeah.
right?
Which is
Well,
typical.
that's what you did last time we were there because
Yeah.
So
you had to
that's-
call me out because I was
Wow.
reading. I didn't know I didn't know it was wrong. They told me when I first got hired there that the one side was whatever the hell it was, but it was wrong.
So that's going to make a difference.
it's called
the other
ripping
thing,
off the consumer, Dave.
and the other thing that's going to make a difference is what bourbon you're using, which
Right.
is why I like my Manhattans, for the love of God, old fashions with rye most of the
'Cause
time,
it's spicier.
or just a regular spicy bourbon because it offsets the sweetness.
Yep.
It
And
plays off that orange peel.
yeah,
Like
it
the
does.
orange peel kind of really captures it.
Yep.
And it's a good contradiction.
Yeah,
Well, and it's funny you say that. I think I do need to try a rye. Mine was made with Buffalo Trace, but my go-to when somebody
That's a good one though.
yeah.
when somebody asks me for one, they say, I don't care what bourbon. I go for Four Roses single barrel because I feel like it's a little spicier.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't made them, but I haven't drank one before. But that was my thought process. Like, I know you guys like them. I forgot that from you guys actually because you guys like rye.
Yeah.
This guy wanted a bourbon, but I wanted a spicier bourbon, and I feel like Four Roses is a little bit spicier than some.
Do
Yeah.
you guys enjoy smoked old fashions at all?
I don't.
I've only had maybe 2, and it was I don't know. I kind of felt like it was more of a novelty than a.
Yeah.
It had a little bit of that smoked
It's
flavor
definitely
to it.
novelty.
I
It
had one
is.
up at Eddie
I can do
V's
without
when
it.
I was with
remember.
customers, and they come over and they smoked it, and and
I almost said I smoked old fashions. Well, yeah. Well, I drank smoked old fashions on Christmas Day.
Okay.
And it was enjoyable. And I think it was because it was like a little bit colder out, maybe. But,
Sure.
yeah,
like,
I could see that.
I just could have done without it though, because it took away from like what the other
It
taste that you can get.
I think it overpowers.
overpowers.
Yes, overpowers.
Yeah, it kind of
Overpowers
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My-
initially to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it as an old fashioned. I've also had it just as straight up smoked bourbon at the place Industry Public House.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm drinking it neat, and they did it with hickory. I believe I chose hickory, and it totally overpowered the taste of the bourbon.
Yeah.
All I got was the smoke. Now, if that's what you're into, then you're gonna love it. But it's not what I am into, because I want to get flavors and the nuances from the bourbon.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You're
can't
taking all that away.
Yeah. So you might as well take a benchmark and say, okay, smoke that if that's what you want.
I would take a lower level bourbon and maybe smoke it, because if you're a bourbon drinker and you enjoy bourbon, then you want to taste all those nuances, like you said. And even if it's a new one, you want to figure it out, not smoke it and then taste the wood that they smoked it with.
What's
Right.
the point of smoking them then?
Novelty.
Yeah.
Just novelty.
Sorry, Garden Grill, but sorry, Garden Grill, but even when people ask me, like, should I get it smoked, I tell them no.
You know what it is, Tommy? It's an extra $3.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
That's what I figured, yeah.
I mean, it does. It changes the flavor. And from what I'm hearing, not for the better.
Yeah.
And I
But
would go ahead.
no, I was going to say, but if you want to try it once, try it once. But I'm still going
I
back to when
enjoyed
you
them,
said that
but
the old fashioned
now
that
I
you
don't.
made. Yeah,
I'd rather not.
I wouldn't
now.
do it again.
Yeah.
I had one or two maybe. I told you up at Eddie V's, which, by the way, Eddie V's uses Buffalo Trace in their old fashions.
Yeah.
And that's where that might have been the first time I've had
Me too.
an old fashioned, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you said that you thought it was too sweet.
Yeah.
And I know Steve and I both make ours with Buffalo Trace frequently,
Yeah.
and think that it has just a plenty of spiciness to offset any sweetness. And then, you said it was still too sweet. So I'm curious I wonder why. That's why I asked you about the cherry juice.
I think it's probably just because since I started with bourbon, I have drank nothing but either bourbon straight or bourbon on a rock. And I think that's just what my palate is at. And maybe, for me, I need to use even less simple syrup.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe
Or a
that's
higher
what it
proof
is.
bourbon.
Yeah.
Or a higher proof bourbon. Yeah, that's a good call, too. Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I think I really
Great. So my fucking old fashions are going to cost me $20 a piece. Fantastic.
But I really think that's why I prefer my old fashions with a 1 sugar cube versus simple syrup.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know what the delineation is compared to simple syrup. I know it's what,
It's 50-50.
50-50.
A cup of sugar and
So-
a cup of water, bring it to a boil.
Yes. Yes.
So with the
So-
sugar cube, you got just the cube, and it's
Yeah.
a small cube,
Yeah.
and then you're putting in your bitters, and then you're muddling that, and you get it down to as close to a syrup as you can. Maybe add a little water. Sometimes I do add a little bit of water,
Yeah.
which is basically making it into a simple syrup.
Yeah.
But I think that's still less amount of sugar than what you get out of a simple syrup, and that's why that's my true love of how to make an old fashioned.
So I use a teaspoon. You know, a
Yeah.
spoon that you would eat with.
Yeah.
I use 1 teaspoon of simple syrup. So if you figure that half of that is sugar, do you think that that's more than 1 sugar cube? I can't get that through my head that
Yeah.
it is, because it seems to me like the sugar cube with maybe you add a little water and that's good, but the sugar cube without any water seems to me like it would be more potent, more sweet than what I'm adding.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's
What I want to do is I talk to you. I want to like sit down and have a meeting with you about Bastards of Bourbon and like kind of plan out some tastings and whatnot. When we do that, if it's okay with you, I'd like to do it at your house so you can make me an old fashioned with a sugar cube. And
Yes.
see what I think about it.
that needs to be on video because that's a beautiful thing.
the old fashions I was making with my cousins on Christmas, that we were using sugar cubes.
You were?
Yeah. And I don't know. It was my favorite old fashioned I had, other than the one
And
you
what
made with the rye.
What
Basil
alcohol?
Hayden's.
Did you use?
yeah, what bourbon were you using?
Basil Hayden's.
Okay.
He used the
Well,
basil.
see,
Hayden's
that's not a
dark rye.
spicy. Oh, okay. That's even a little bit sweeter.
It is sweeter. You know what? You know what rye I did not like. I was excited to try because I never tried it, and we just happened to have it hidden at Garden Grill. Is the Angel's Envy rye?
Oh, you
Too
don't.
sweet.
God, no.
It's
You don't
mouthful
ever
of
want to
sugar.
make that with a.
It's Well,
that's in the.
I just
That
tasted
is-
it. I just
That's in
tasted
the
it.
Rum Cask, I think.
Man,
It is.
and it
And it
is.
is
One of my-
maple. It is very sweet.
One of my all-time favorite sipping ryes. No rocks, no nothing. Beautiful sweetness.
Yeah.
For what, the Angel's Envy?
Oh.
It was too sweet for me. I did not like it at all.
Angel's Envy.
Yeah, Angel's Envy rye.
Right.
It's also a little bit pricey.
Really cool bottle.
$100, $90 to $100 a bottle.
Yep.
The bottle's shaped like angel's wings, and then it's got the wings on the back.
I love the.
Your mother would love it.
I love the Angel's Envy.
My mom has it.
I love the Angel's Envy regular bourbon finished in a port cask. I love that. It's delicious to me. But the rye, I do not like
I think
at
the
all.
ryes are rum cask. So when this is one of my earlier neat drinks that I started with, and it was so sweet and so delicious that I loved it. But man, have I gotten away from it. I had it, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, and forgot how much I really liked it. And it's something that I could just pour in a glass.
The Angel's Envy rye.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Sip it. Oh, to me it's delicious. A lot of raisin and caramel and.
I did a tasting
It
with
is
one of the
one of my
bartenders.
favorites, Dave.
I don't like it at all.
That's-
It's way
that's
too
funny,
sweet.
yeah.
It's way too sweet for me.
So I'm thinking about your old fashions. More of the aromatic bitters, maybe.
I was thinking I needed to get away from the orange bitters. I think that might be where some of my
That adds a little
cinnamon
bit of
flavor
sweetness
is
to it.
coming from, and a
Yeah.
little bit of the sweetness. And plus, JP, the other bartender there, he made that orange bitters.
John Paul.
Yeah, he made
Shout
that
out to
orange.
John Paul.
Yeah, he made that orange bitter.
And
saw
I don't
I
put
saw him dunk in high school.
any orange bitters in my old fashions.
I do. Just
I don't.
What I tell you in mine, 4,
4 and 6.
and I probably do 6 and 2 at home, maybe 3. But
Yeah.
I
and that's
feel
in
like
place of an orange peel though for me.
Right.
I want to get back to the Angel's Envy. Maybe I really don't like sweet things that are overly
That's what I'm
sweet
thinking.
because
It is definitely sweet.
because it is way too
But
sweet
to me,
for me.
boy, it's full
I was doing a
flavor.
bourbon tasting with one of the bartenders who doesn't really know bourbon. Who doesn't really know bourbon that well. So I did a little bourbon tasting with her at Garden Grill. And and I was really excited to try the Angel's Envy rye. I was excited for the spiciness, and which I did get on the finish. I got the spiciness on the finish. But
Yeah, I don't think
in
there's
my
any
mouth,
spiciness to Angel's Envy rye.
in my mouth, the sweetness
pure
was,
sweetness,
oh
yeah.
my God, it was too much.
But
Too much.
I can drink it. To me, I don't want to say it's an after dinner drink because that's a little bit of an exaggeration. But my goodness, in the evening to pour one of those,
I
it's
might
like,
put it right up there with Screwball. That's how sweet I felt.
Oh,
it was.
no,
No,
let's not.
Well, hey, but that's your palate.
I'm seriously. I really think that possibly that's too much for me.
All right, just real quick, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but I've had this for a long time because Dave and I had decided.
I like how we're just drinking E.H. Taylor and Bland's just casually.
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
people can't get their hands on it. We're like, yeah.
After having 8 Jeffersons that were fantastic,
So
Buffalo Trace sits here like the stepchild.
And an old Forster 1910.
Yeah, which I still have a little sip of here.
Nice.
Somebody put it.
which, by the way, I
cube
just
in it.
had the 1920. My God.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Did you?
It's so
And it
good.
reminds me, I'll tell you
is
what
it
it
out here?
reminded me of.
Oh, nice.
It
I'm having
reminded
that
me of the 21 Jeffersons. Same sort of. And
Yeah.
I bet you proof-wise, it's real similar.
It's
It's
115,
115.
Yeah.
The roaring 20s.
So I'm gonna
We're in 'em.
I'm gonna blow your mind here, Tommy, because I know you're totally unprepared for this. I don't think Dave is, but I'm gonna
Okay.
just throw it out right now. And Jacob's right; he's looking at me like he's going to be looking at me after I say this, like, "Oh my God, this podcast is going 4 hours for sure."
What are you gonna say?
All right,
What are you gonna do? I got some.
I'm just gonna blurt it out real fast.
All right.
My top 5 Brad Pitt movies are Troy.
Oh.
Number 5, Troy. Number 4, Fight Club. Number 3, Inglourious Bastards. Number 2, Once Upon a Lifetime in Hollywood. And number 1, Seven.
Oh my God.
7 was awesome.
Woo!
I don't have my list.
Wait, I can go. I'll go.
Did you say Moneyball at all?
No, he didn't. He didn't. Do you
Moneyball
want to go
is
next? You want to go
good.
next?
No, my favorite 2 Brad Pitt women are Jennifer Aniston, number 1, and Jennifer Aniston, number 2.
Ah, yes.
Fuck Angelina Jolie.
She's always got
three
hard
is
nips.
Moneyball.
Weirdo.
Jennifer Aniston always got hard nips.
Always.
If you go
And-
back and watch Friends, hard nips.
And I have
All
to
day.
say, and this is personal,
What just happened?
my daughter is named after Jennifer Aniston. Her name is Rachel.
Oh, nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was either going to be Rachel or Monica. Come out with blonde hair. I'm like, you're a Rachel.
I'm actually.
Why are your nipples hard? Sorry, honey. Didn't mean that.
I have to correct it. Number 3
Sorry,
was
that's-
Moneyball, not Inglourious Bastards. And I have proof right here. I just
Oh, you
misread
do,
it.
yeah.
Number 3 was Moneyball.
Okay. I am a massive Friends fan, and I've been sad that it's not on Netflix. It's like my show I put on just for.
I bought my daughter
Background.
the DVD collection. I think
Nice.
she's watched it 7 times in its entirety.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've watched it.
I throw Fury in Brad Pitt's top 5.
Really good.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
that fucking movie.
it's honorable
I don't
mention.
know if I know. I don't know if I saw that one.
It's another war movie. It's a war movie.
Okay.
Well,
You
here's
got Snatch up there. Very good. He's
Yeah.
in The Big Short.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, he is.
One of his earlier movies.
No.
I mean, like
Oh,
Big
I'm
Short,
think-
no,
90s,
no,
like
no,
mid-90s?
no,
I'm
no,
thinking
no,
of something else.
2000s, Big Short, 2000s.
You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
You're right.
Got to bring up one thing here.
Let me see that again.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Shameless?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
My God.
I'll tell you my problem with Shameless. It's an excellent show. It's really good. My problem is any show that has a lot of terrible people in it, I have
Yes.
to take breaks from. Like, I need a break.
I agree
and then I'll go
1,000%. I'll watch 3 or 4 one night, and it's like, oh my God, it's like a car wreck. I can't quit watching. But then I need a couple days off
Yeah.
because the shit that they do and they don't care about doing.
Yeah. It's so crazy to me.
Stealing food from the truck that's delivering food to their neighbors.
It,
and-
it gets
Oh my
pretty grimy.
God.
Like
It's the same
sometimes I feel like I think a couple times actually after I watched an episode or two, I've gotten tested for STDs. And,
I feel like you need a shower after you watch it.
Yeah, I probably would again too, or like a big bowl of ice cream or something. Like I'm not like them people.
No, I'm better than them.
I feel that
I'm
I feel
not from the
same way.
South Side.
But wow.
Another show that does that to me, and I think it is unquestionably the best TV show of all time, writing wise, story wise, everything. Breaking Bad, I think from start to finish, is incredible, but it's one I had to take breaks from because everybody in that show, except for Jesse, who starts out as a drug addict / whatever, is a terrible person. They have zero moral boundaries.
And the handicapped son was a good person.
I don't even remember him. That's how bad it was.
No, listen. I got tired of him.
yeah, that guy.
I got tired of him and the wife of the guy. That whole situation got
That was
drug on for a while.
Right. It was the only part of the whole series that
like hurry up, get on with this.
right.
Yeah.
Brought it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But from start to
It
finish,
was a great show.
most shows, when they last that long, the last 2 or 3 seasons are
They're-
just shit.
They're stretching.
But
They were the
Breaking Bad
best.
was not that way. They were great. They were incredible. But I had to take breaks from watching it every time.
And it gives me a perfect chance to put a little plug in for a show that my wife and I absolutely love, and it is only getting better season by season. Better Call Saul. So Better Call Saul is a prequel to
Yeah.
obviously Breaking Bad.
I've only watched the first season of that.
Oh,
So-
it's a prequel, not a
Prequel.
it's not a post.
So as you get closer to,
that a
and we're
word?
getting now, they just finished season 4. They introduce each season a couple characters from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I was gonna ask a question too when you're done.
So it makes
About a
you.
character.
So it makes you like the first couple seasons are good. Don't get me wrong. But as it gets closer and closer, at some point, and I don't know how many seasons it'll go. I'm guessing it's going to either go 5 or 6 because Breaking Bad went 6.
They'll do 6 for that reason. I guarantee.
Walter White is making. There is no doubt in my mind. I'm convinced now more than ever because they've got so many characters, and one of the characters I loved in Breaking Bad was Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike is a major. Like he's. You've got Saul Goodman.
Oh,
and
Mike
then-
is the Detective.
Mike. Yes, he's
Yeah,
the detective,
yeah.
older guy,
Private Eye.
bald.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was awesome.
Yeah.
One of the best
he's
characters.
good.
Looks
Head-
like all 3 of you.
head kind of looks
shit.
like chewed up bubble gum.
It's sort of like if you meshed our faces together.
I loved him in Breaking Bad.
Oh,
He was one of my.
and you're
favorite
gonna love
was
it,
great.
and you would love him in Better Call Saul. So it's getting to that point, and the issue I think they have more than anything with it is it's not. They don't put a season out every year. It's like
supposed to be a bourbon podcast?
it's like every 18
This is what
months
happens
you
after.
get one. But that's I mean, if you're a Breaking Bad fan and you haven't given it a chance because you're just like, no, it's not going to be good. You got to give it a try. You got to.
I suffered through the first 3 or 4 episodes. I'll give it another go on your
Yeah,
recommendation.
I watched the first season. My question is Giancarlo Esposito, the actor, Is his character in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
and
he
he
play
plays.
him?
He
Who's
plays.
he?
Yes, and he plays a big role
I figured.
as it goes on. But he's I
The
don't.
Chicken Shack guy.
Pollo's chicken.
Yeah, I believe he comes in at end of season 2, maybe beginning of season 3. But he plays a huge role throughout that.
I figure because in Breaking Bad, Saul was always like, I knew him, like previously. Like I knew him. So I figured he would be in that.
Actually, you know who one of my favorite characters in that whole world of Breaking Bad, and he was in. He had a fairly prominent part in what is it, El Camino, the movie.
Mm-hmm. Clint Eastwood.
No.
It was the Breaking Bad movie with Aaron. It was focused on Aaron Paul, Jesse.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Is his goofy friend? God, what's his name? His goofy friend.
I know who you mean too. The taller guy.
And then there's Sneaky.
Tall guy with kind of the longer hair.
Then there's Sneaky Pete.
Well, that's a good show on Amazon.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I love that show. It's over, and I'm
Very
very pissed
good.
about it. But I can't remember. But he was actually a good guy in the movie. He was excellent. I wish I could remember his fucking name.
I don't
in
remember
the
his
show.
name, but he was also on the show Mom.
Yeah.
On CBS.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Blanton's. Yeah, so what? The one show that I could never get into, I tried a couple times, was Walking Dead.
I like the first 5 seasons.
Agree with
I
that.
couldn't get past
Yeah.
halfway through season 1.
Oh
I've
man,
only
it's
watched
crazy
the
to me.
first season of Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and then
I didn't get-
episodes after.
The
like,
first
when
5
other
seasons were
people
incredible
watch
to
it.
me.
Couldn't handle it.
And
Tommy?
No,
everybody in
I
my
couldn't-
family
I don't
was
know, I
into
just-
it.
It was
and
very depressing.
I was the one who was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not watching it. Go ahead, you watch it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then of course after a while, just because they're watching every Sunday or whatever night it was on, eventually I started
Sucked
watching.
you
I was like, this is
really
actually
good.
really good.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you, Dave. It was somewhere around season 5, season 6. It just got
Yeah.
off.
It just becomes too much. I think
Yeah.
where a lot of people get misguided with that show, at least for the first few seasons, is they think the zombies are the massive problem. The zombies are not the massive problem. It's what happens to people when something like that happens.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with the other people.
Kind of like right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Jacob's going, you guys are the fucking zombies right now. Let's go. It's a fucking bourbon podcast. Finish this shit up.
But I got a new one I got to throw out there because I just watched 4 episodes the other night. It's fairly new. New season just came out, and it's called Homecoming, and it's on Amazon Prime.
The first season is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through the first season.
Yeah.
And what's cool about these episodes is that you're not into a 45 to an hour minute episode. Their episodes are only about 30
Yeah,
minutes.
I was with
Fuck's
you,
an
Jeff.
hour a minute.
The 30.
35 to an hour a minute.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that.
Hour an
I'm working on
episode.
a Blanton's right now, and I can't.
That's your caddy right there.
An hour a minute.
Wait a second.
You know, we are about 10 bourbons in here.
10.
You got 150 inch minutes to the pin. Huh?
All right.
But yes, I'm
Homecoming, huh?
with you. Homecoming
Homecoming's
is
on
amazing.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Have you guys watched Brockmire?
Yes. Yes.
Man, is
so
that good.
funny.
Andy
So
Powell
funny.
turned me on to that. It was so funny.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria.
Hilarious. So
Awesome.
talented.
You guys need to watch Barry on HBO.
I would have.
Barry?
Barry.
I would've
It's a
give-
30-minute show with Bill Hader and the guy that played Fonz.
Henry Winkler.
Yeah, and some guy.
Hey.
Yeah, some guy that was in like Adam Sandler movies, I think. Or
Huh.
no, he was in Dodgeball. He's like some old dude. It's a good series. It's
All right,
only, it's
so-
a 30-minute comedy, but it's dark.
I would have get into just Amazon in general real quick. Netflix has maybe some of the top shows, but a majority of Amazon shows are really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like everyone I end up picking up is amazing. Yeah, get that nipple action.
Yeah.
out of
Jacob,
Jacob. Itchy nipple.
Did you turn my mic down?
there. No.
Yeah, Amazon's got some good stuff. Oh shit, what's the guy's name that was married to Angelina Jolie?
Goliath.
Yeah, Goliath. Thank you. Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob. Yeah,
It's excellent. It's
that was
really
pretty good. Season
What
2
show?
was a little bit.
What show?
Goliath.
Oh, okay.
Season 2 was a little bit
Season
weird.
Season 2, I fell off. Season 1,
one
I
was
loved.
great.
Yeah, season 1, I loved.
So what do you think about Sons of Anarchy?
Love it.
One of my
One of my all-time
Twice.
favorites.
Watch
Yeah.
it twice.
I actually bought the DVDs before I realized I didn't have to.
Yeah.
But oh man,
I think it's good to own shows that you
Great
really
show.
like, though, because
Yeah,
you
I
never
wa-
know when they'll disappear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But the only thing I didn't like was maybe the how it
The
ended.
ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was final.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he steered his motorcycle into a semi.
Well, and Jax was he was to me too smart. And honestly, when I almost quit watching, but I kept on watching, and I'm glad I did. But when Opie got killed,
Yeah, that was bad.
that was rough for me,
you-
man.
Yeah.
Have you watched?
I was in prison.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
fucking basically said, "Here's your sacrifice."
Well, he sacrificed himself.
He did. He
Jax
did.
was going to do it.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Have you watched any of the Fargo seasons?
Yes.
I fucking love Fargo.
Same
The
here.
Second season.
Is it still on?
It's coming out, but they had to delay production because of COVID. But
Oh,
Chris
Jesus.
Rock is like one of the main characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
And Jason Schwartzman is the other main
Huh.
character in it. But
Venom.
that second season of
Venom.
Fargo was awesome.
It was. It really was.
Did he do a lisp again?
He did Finament.
Thin and man.
And and by the way, Dave, Jack's wife is the wife of the guy in Billions now.
Yeah, she's hot.
Can't
yeah.
think of yeah.
What's that?
Maggie Siff.
Maggie
Yeah.
Siff.
Yeah,
Fifth. Maggie Fifth.
What's that?
She's a hot. And then, the opening, the first season, episode 1, and she's pissing on the guy's chest and with her high heels
Yeah,
on.
yeah. What the
Like,
fuck?
wait, what?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Oh, that reminds me of a joke.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the difference between a chickpea and a lentil?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I've never had a lentil on my face.
Everybody keeping up with that? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes.
But I've had a chickpea
on my
on my
face.
face.
Or chest, as
So, Pam, what's going on
Billy.
over there, Pam?
Actually, our oldest son told us.
yeah, that's true.
Really? That's a Brady joke?
It's a Brady joke. So
Oh, dear Lord.
I just went in. I have to share this story. I just went into the bathroom, and I'm in there, and enjoying myself, urinating. And
I'm glad you finished that with urinating.
Yeah,
Me too.
and I'm like, oh my god, is my urine smell like chocolate? Like, what is going on?
Oh, that's
here?
the Grand Baron Pichon.
That's right.
And I'm like, oh my, I didn't realize.
Pichon.
Pichon. So I didn't realize that we had so much bourbon that had chocolate or mocha overtones, and then I happened to, as I'm washing my hands, look to the left and see that there's a mocha candle lit. And I was kind of like relieved
I didn't
because I thought I might have had an issue.
This is the bachelor's house. I got to light candles so you don't smell that funk.
Or that mocha piss.
Hey, Jacob, do you still have some McKenna left over there?
Oh, boy. Holy shit. What's Jacob doing over there?
So
I
I
asked him
want to
what
go.
he wanted over there.
I
He
just
said
real
McKenna.
quick want to go back because
Good
we
choice.
glossed over it so fast. I just want to real quick go back to the Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
movies.
I did too. Okay, can I since you named him, can I say something?
Can I tell you I love everything about what's happening?
So
Yeah.
So let's first just start right now at number 1.
Yeah, we'll talk
Seven.
about. Can we talk about each movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 7.
Isn't that when he
How-
found the head in the box?
Right. Head in the
Yes.
box. How
Morgan
good?
Freeman.
How good? Now again, Brad Pitt was phenomenal in that movie, but how good was Kevin Spacey in that movie?
So
Kevin
funny.
Spacey
Yeah.
is just an incredible actor, period. Hands down.
Plays
I
the
agree.
be-
Regardless of
plays
his
the best villain.
Don't care what movie it is. Don't care which show it is.
regardless of his sexual preferences.
Or promiscuity.
Yeah,
I'd
care.
still watch him
I-
if they put him back on something.
Yeah,
I'd
he's
watch
that
it. I'm
good.
sorry.
He's that good. Usual Suspects.
Yeah,
The one where the girl was
American Beauty.
in New Orleans.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, shit. The one where he was a
Anyway.
teacher?
K-Pax. Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. You know, he's
I
talking
don't know.
about
Anyway, fantastic.
Yeah.
I love him as an actor.
Yeah, he's great.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Keep going, Steve.
Okay,
That's
so
what the little
number
boys say,
2,
too.
and it's a recent one, but I loved it that much, and I loved his character. And Dave and I talked about this at length in one of the podcasts, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
He was amazing in it.
That movie
Stole the show.
Yeah, and
stole
won
the
it-
show.
He won an Oscar for it. his first Oscar.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he won his first
We
Oscar.
can drink
Deservedly
McKenna
so.
plenty now.
And the movie is just phenomenal. Like putting him and Leonardo DiCaprio together.
Oh, yeah.
It was just genius.
I didn't think it was
and
going to work. It worked
it
phenomenally.
works.
And the ending when they went to the wrong house.
Yeah, that whole
Freaking
ending of
awesome.
the movie, that whole movie is poetic.
Yeah.
And his role was just perfect in it.
Yeah.
Like it was a central Brad Pitt. Tarantino found
Love
the
it.
best in Brad Pitt. Like I feel like he wrote that character for him.
I think you're right.
I don't have any
And
McKenna.
there, so one
Motherfucker.
of the scenes that I absolutely loved about that movie, and there were two with Brad Pitt in particular.
Put it in here. It'll look like more.
There's a scene where he is doubling. He's a stunt double. That's his. You've seen it.
Yeah,
You've seen
yeah,
it? Okay,
fantastic.
and Bruce Lee is the lead character, or he's playing whoever he played, Chateau. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting around, and then he's messing around, horsing around with
The fight
other.
in the parking
yes,
lot.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite lines
Oh,
ever.
my
him
God.
go-
What
him-
is the quote that Brad Pitt says when he's like, my hands are registered as deadly weapons, and he is like, well, what does he say? He's like, well, no, that's everybody gets arrested. That's assault or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
And then he just
He was like, "That's assault."
and then he proceeds to literally beat the shit out of Bruce Lee.
He smashed in a car.
Yes. It's fantastic.
Hey, I want to do a little quick toast here. I think Tommy just drank his McKenna so quick.
Good job, Tommy.
Here, Tommy, get some E.H. Taylor.
Slut. Bourbon slut.
Tommy's being the
Did
sluttiest.
we talk about bourbon sluts on the last podcast?
Yes.
Don't put it in that. Okay.
And Tommy's being the sluttiest.
Tommy, two gloves, Gainey.
We actually
Haggerty.
consider that as one of the names, bourbon sluts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would look nice up there.
What did I say? I said
Bourbon
like
whores.
The
Hooters.
something the McQueefers or
I
the
said
Yeah.
like the twats of something.
So what I want to do, we'll jump right back in, is I just want to give a toast to the first actual named Bastards of Bourbon episode.
Here, here.
And I'm glad you two were
Basalu.
with us for it.
Huzzah!
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Huzzah!
It's good to have some Hank.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's-
real quick,
that's terrible.
Tommy, number 3, Moneyball.
Yeah.
Love Moneyball.
We talked about Moneyball in depth the episode
With
me and you did.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
I love
name
it.
name a better baseball movie. I don't know that I can.
There's
Ooh.
a few that I really like, but
I
it
mean,
is a
you
great
know, Field
baseball
of Dreams.
movie.
And
He's
that
got
kind
a
of
good-
thing. There's some good stuff.
The
but
Natural,
and the one that
Yeah.
For Love
you
of the
turned me-
Game.
Yes.
Did you watch it again?
Yeah.
those are
How
great.
good is that,
Yeah.
man?
But they're more sentimental than this was.
just baseball pure.
What baseball?
It-
became.
Actually,
It touched my
Jacob, can you
my
see if
statistic
Brad
love
Pitt was
for
even
baseball.
nominated
Yeah.
for Moneyball?
And no
'Cause he
other
should have been.
baseball
That was
movie
an
did
incredible
that. I don't
performance.
no,
Well,
the other
he
ones were
wasn't
more
either.
sentimental, emotional.
But
This was like, wow,
they
look what they're
touched
doing.
On it. They touched on it at the right time, though. They touched on it with his daughter when she would play that song and sing it. Like,
Oh, I cry pretty much every
Yeah.
time I watch it.
I've cried twice throughout that movie each time I've seen it because it is that poetic with baseball.
Okay,
Like-
so he was nominated for Best Actor in Moneyball. Holy shit! Which
Yeah,
I think
he
he
did.
deserved. I, to me, it's crazy that he hasn't won some of these awards. What did he win? He won for 12 Years a Slave, which is crazy.
No, that's
Very
best,
small
That's
role.
Best Picture.
Oh, Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12
okay.
Monkeys.
He won his only
Best Supporting
Oscar.
Actor, Once Upon a Time, beautiful. Best International Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Well, he deserves more credit, man. Everything I see him in. You know what? A Brad Pitt movie I have to bring up in this because it was on my list when we made the list for the last podcast we didn't end up using. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's very long. It's very good. He is an incredible actor in it. As always, meet Joe Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on here.
So
I mean,
Joe-
it almost
He basically plays death going into a person like the god or whatever
Oh, yeah?
death going into a person's body to live somebody's life for a little while. And it is fucking incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Him and
An-
Claire
Anthony-
Floriani.
And
Anthony
Hopkins, yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
Anthony Hopkins.
I've got it on. And here's how sad this is going to be.
Is it
but
VHS?
I have it on VHS.
which is 2 tapes.
yeah.
Well, before we get into
But that's
the,
how much I love the movie. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy it.
It's so good.
Even though I know these VHSs will be obsolete in 2 years.
You didn't know that at the time.
That was 20 years ago. Before we get into the best Anthony Hopkins movies, let me just say that I still give Brad Pitt
Silence of
all
the
the
Lambs.
credit in the world for Jennifer Aniston. Listen.
You can't get over it.
Well,
I
mean,
can't lie to you. She's maybe my.
fantasy
I'd
movie
say-
star, whatever you want to call it. Number one.
I'd say her
she just
in.
she has like a
She has that
like
girl,
a
next,
girl next door. Yeah.
Yes. You
I'd
got
say
that girl
her-
next door.
For me, I'd say her in Homecoming actress.
Oh,
What?
shit. Pam's here.
I'd say her in Homecoming star Julia Roberts for me. Those are my two.
Okay,
Like,
and
she has great facial expressions.
I have a whole new
Like-
love
And
for
those
Julia
nipples.
Roberts because of
phenomenal actress.
Homecoming.
Phenomenal actress.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know that I saw
Aaron
that.
Brockovich.
Aaron Brockovich was good.
Stellar.
Really,
Yeah.
really good.
So-
That's a great point.
Honestly,
Still
even her romantic
Magnolias.
comedies,
Yeah.
Still
I
Magnolias.
mean,
Man,
you
when
name
she
it.
died
was
better.
Sleeping with the Enemy.
Whoa.
How about when she was the hooker in,
Pretty Woman.
I mean, I still go back to that.
But no, honestly, even her romantic comedies, all of it, I love. I love
Mystic
everything she
Pizza.
does. Pretty much, Mystic Pizza. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
good
One of her
movie.
first.
Yeah.
Or how about Horrible Bosses? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back on Jennifer.
That might be the best.
Well,
Jennifer
the,
Aniston
no,
role.
yeah, that's the best.
Wait,
Jennifer.
no. The best Jennifer Aniston movie, We Are the Millers.
Yeah.
Oh,
When she did the striptease.
That's
and she
just
was,
because of the dance scene, but she's also
was-
comedically on
That was
point
that
on
was
that one.
MILF Jennifer.
That was
Okay,
way
so
MILF.
Yeah.
would it surprise any
I
of
actually
you
have
guys
that on my DVR.
when
Yeah.
I won't
We have
delete
become
Yeah, I
bourbon
bet.
drinking
you
sexual
do.
harassers.
So would it surprise any of you guys that when I watch We Are the Millers and I have a witness to this in my family in general, I cry.
You cry?
I cry.
What makes you cry about it?
So there's the scene where they finally become a family.
Okay. All
Right?
right.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes. And they finally decide that they really truly love each other, even though they're not technically a family, because you got the misfit who gets his
Dick
bit
stung.
by a spider.
Yeah.
And you've got the girl who has nose rings and earrings and
Yeah.
nipple rings
And you've got Jennifer Aniston.
I
Yeah.
actually can't lie. That part gets me too.
it gets me every
Things
time.
like that.
It
It's just
gets
things
me
like
every
that.
time.
That scene when they were experimenting kissing. With,
Oh,
Yeah, that
that's
was
just
Julia,
hilarious.
with Julia Roberts' niece.
Yeah.
Bring Julia Roberts
What's her
back
name?
in.
Emma Roberts.
But it was
Yeah,
good because he
Emma
was going
Roberts
back and
and
forth
Jennifer.
between the Jennifer Aniston and the
and then the girl he liked,
fake sister.
and then the girl he likes
going back.
walks in.
Yeah. What the hell's going on here? Can you imagine? Yeah. No, that was actually a fairly entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Shit. No, it was really
Enjoyed it.
entertaining. It was really
Yeah.
fun.
And that, you know,
enjoyed it.
and then there's that whole striptease thing. I'm sorry. Did I bring that up already?
I think he did.
Is this podcast over yet?
To make it a little gay,
What?
there's a
Wait,
Jennifer
what?
Aniston movie that I love
fuck
called
just happened?
Picture Perfect.
No, it's a good
Yep.
movie.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's
Yeah.
like more of like a. It's more of a
pull
chick
it up,
flick,
Jacob.
Well,
rom-com.
listen,
type
we've
thing,
talked.
like-
Remember, we
We like
talked about doing
rom-coms.
rom-coms, and I'm all ready for doing rom-coms. I'm preparing
Right
for
there,
that
Picture Perfect trailer
that
on the right.
podcast, the rom-com pack.
Well, we are going to have
podcast.
to make that a Gathering of Fools podcast,
Yeah.
though.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
We can all be on Gathering of Fools.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
right?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
I just don't care what happens at the end of these tastings because then we're just like, yeah, let's
Yeah,
get
but
this shit
Jacob
off the
does.
rails.
He's sitting there going, Jesus Christ, what have they gotten into now?
Jacob hates us.
What the hell is
so
next?
much. How long have we been talking?
So Anthony Hopkins' favorite movies.
Silence of the
okay.
Lambs.
Ding, ding, ding. Number one.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Jacob, look up Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins
Love his movies.
Monkey Study.
Think he is
I don't
one of
know-
the greatest
I
actors.
don't know too many Anthony Hopkins movies.
No?
I don't.
So, well, meet Joe
don't.
Black.
Instinct.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know he
such
was
a
in.
good
I know
movie.
he was in
You like how I
four
could pull
movies.
that out and I knew it would come up? Anthony Hopkins Monkey Studies.
Yeah.
That's what's that movie?
A noted anthropologist
Yeah,
who left society to live in the jungle is imprisoned for murder.
yeah, and he literally doesn't talk at all until some psychiatrist gets through. Also another
I've
good
never
one.
seen this.
Also another good one with him is with him and Ryan Gosling. I'll try to look it up on mine instead of making Jacob look it up.
So while
Did you
we're
watch
waiting
Westworld? with him in it?
No.
Oh, he was good in Westworld.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in the first season.
Didn't he? Wasn't he in the movie where he cut the guy's brain and ate it?
That's
okay,
Hannibal.
so that's Hannibal.
Hannibal,
So that,
okay,
that,
that's Hannibal,
that's
yeah.
a-
I couldn't
that-
remember
Same
that.
character
Yep.
sequel.
from Signs of the
It
Lambs.
was actually was it? Yeah, it was the second one.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs was. I ate his liver with a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
Canty. He said canty.
I can't do it, but he's like,
I guess just to break up.
Fracture.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fracture.
Yeah,
It's a really
yeah.
good one as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Anthony
can you go back-
Hopkins is
can
great.
you go back down?
Actually, you know what you need to look up for Anthony Hopkins? Look up Anthony Hopkins quarantine dance video.
Oh, I saw that on TikTok. Yeah. Keep going down.
So,
For real, look that
do you
up.
guys know the reason why they called speakeasies during Prohibition?
I do not.
No.
And I'm just trying to bring it back to some bourbon-related information.
Actually, I really want to know this anyway.
Okay.
I really do.
So the reason they did is because you would have to whisper a code in order to get into the area that actually had the bar that had the illegal alcohol. So the speakeasy part of it was you speak easy, you whisper. So if you knew the code, you would speak easy and you would whisper it to whoever you knew that could let you into the area that had the alcohol. So that's how they became known as speakeasies.
I like it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I
I never knew that.
And they all had their own codes. Some of them.
This back, or have you been holding this back, or did you just figure this out today?
No, I've been holding it back.
That's pretty cool.
So some of the and it was weird because there were a few speakeasies back in the 1920s that actually had their code as Jennifer Aniston.
And it all comes together.
Jennifer Aniston. Nipples. You're in. You're in.
Rachel.
Rachel.
I'm a little torn with that.
We were on a break.
That's right. Oh shit.
But that is true story. That is how speakeasies got their name.
I think
It
we
wasn't like when they opened up and they were like, "Oh, we're speakeasies."
Do speakeasies still exist? I heard they
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
They
I want
absolutely
to
do.
go to
Yeah.
one. So
I went
bad. Where's
to-
the closest one? Do you guys know?
should. I know one Acacia in Pittsburgh.
Okay, there you go.
We
If
should
they're
go.
still open after all this quarantine.
Are they gonna
and-
have like crazy shit going on?
No. What do you think it is? It's just a place where you can drink alcohol.
Yeah, but like they have like surprise shows.
No,
Strippers
no, that's not what
and
like
speakeasy
a
Like
is.
midget, like a midget
burlesque?
stripper or something.
Literally not at all what that is. You're thinking burlesque.
Oh, okay.
But what I
On
think
the
we
way
should
in Penn,
do is
right
I
there.
think we should all figure out how to get
Temporarily
together and buy that Dipapino's building now that it's only $500,000.
Oh, is it down to 5?
It's down to 5,
Wow.
and we can make that a speakeasy. And it's got that crazy apartment. It's got all that other rental property around it.
Yeah.
God.
I know.
No,
You can make that.
no
a
liquor
list.
license though.
Really? I thought they served.
They sold it.
To who?
I don't know who they sold it to, but you can
Because-
sell them to anybody now. You can sell it to somebody in Cleveland, and they can use it in Cleveland.
Highest bidder.
Yeah.
So apparently the
Gainey.
old Western Cafe is going
Tommy.
to open up with a liquor license.
Yeah. That's
Where'd
well,
that come from?
Well, it's Tommy's now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a full liquor license.
If you don't mind.
It's going to be beer.
Ah,
Yeah. Which sucks is because Tommy is actually probably coming on Gathering of Fools on next Friday.
I am.
No, Tommy
Oh,
Gentile.
I was gonna say. I was like, dude.
wait, are we out?
No, just Gathering of Fools.
Oh, that's not Bourbon Bastards.
But Bourbon Bastards. but
I like Bourbon Bastards better.
no, you don't. Shut the fuck up. But so he was good. When he originally bought that, his plan was for it to be like a clubhouse. Yeah, what do you want? Colonel? His original plan was for it to be like a clubhouse for all of us to go drink at, and I was so excited for it. And then he was like, hey, man, these guys came in. They were like, hey, we want to use this for beer and growlers and stuff like that. They fix up the whole building. What can I do?
Oh, so is he leasing it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was his place.
He owns it.
Okay.
Tommy owns it. He's
Okay.
leasing it to these people.
Where are they
What
from?
building?
I have no idea.
What
Is it the
building?
Bloomingdale guys?
It was the old Western.
No. It's new people. They're not doing their own beer. they're
You
just
remember that
doing
place,
growlers.
Tommy?
No, he
think.
doesn't remember.
I
that.
do.
No, he
I was
doesn't.
in there.
He doesn't remember that.
I was in the old Western Cafe.
He
They-
made that.
Where
We used
was
to go.
it?
We used to go there and play pool years and years.
That's exactly
Where,
right.
where
Years
was
ago.
it?
You only had to be like 13 to get served.
Right. Oh, I mean, I think I was 15 the first time I was in there. I rode my bike there.
It's
Where was
out,
it?
out towards the state patrol barracks.
Okay.
It's on the left-hand side. It's been an equipment rental place for a while.
Yeah, I know what you're
Thank
talking
you.
about. Yeah.
But you were never in there.
No, I didn't say that.
Ashtray.
There's actually more.
I mean, it was just back
Pam.
in the day. All the high school kids
Pam.
went there. Everybody got
Can you
served.
grab us the other ashtrays?
They had
on
pool
that table?
tables.
I'm sorry, Pam.
Rest in peace, Western Cafe.
Well, yeah, and have you seen the pictures? Have you guys talked to Tommy? Seen the pictures?
No,
I've talked to him. I
he's
haven't
fixed
seen.
it up a lot outside.
Well,
It's a shithole.
the people that are leasing it fix up the inside, and it looks nice.
Really?
Yeah, it looks
So
really
tell,
nice.
who's leasing it?
I don't know who it is, but they're doing growlers
But it's
and
just
stuff
beer.
like that. It's going to be just beer.
Is it a
as far as I
BYOB?
know. No. It's their beer.
Okay.
Well, not their beer, but they're supplying the beer
All
to
right.
the customers. I don't know.
The problem is, that patrol barracks is right up the street.
Yeah, well, listen.
I hope it's not a problem.
Did you guys know? Did you guys know what happened during quarantine with the state highway patrol? I feel like I need to whisper this.
Yeah. Don't let anybody hear that.
Wait. Let us whisper now.
Let us whisper now.
Richard
my
Harris, Gladiator.
Let that shit queef.
Jesus.
Oh dear Lord.
So the state highway patrol and basically Ohio cops were told not to pull people over unless it was absolutely necessary
can't.
during the quarantine.
Because they
you
gotta have
could
a
get
mask
sick.
on.
You could get sick.
They walk up my window. I'm going.
So what I did was I just drove around with 2 or 3 bottles of bourbon open. I'm just kidding. I did not do that.
Outside the window, holding one outside the window.
No.
Hello.
At one
Look
point,
at me.
At one point, I was on
can't
top of
catch
my
me.
car with it on cruise control, holding onto the steering wheel. No, I'm just kidding. Although,
ring a
Like
bell, Steve?
Scarface.
although,
Look at me. Look at me.
although,
Cockroach.
no lie,
Who's
and-
the bad guy now?
although,
I'm the bad guy.
although no lie, Tommy can attest to this. The Teen Wolf car surfing definitely did that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I did that in the country club. Marky Tiberio.
I do.
Oh yeah.
He likes to.
Good
he,
dude.
He was driving, and I was in the passenger seat, and he likes to describe it as they played some song. I got really excited, and I was like hanging out the window. He goes, I looked over one time, and you were hanging out the window. I got on the roof while we were driving. Hey, I looked out the window, or I looked over, and you were hanging out the window, and then I looked over again, and you were gone.
Jesus.
By the way, first,
How are you still not the manager?
I need to say, nobody try that ever in their life.
Please,
Stupidest
dear
thing
Lord,
I've
no.
ever done. Funny story. Stupidest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yes.
But yes, I definitely. Luckily we were in the country club, so we were going 10, 15 miles an hour. We weren't driving. But I climbed out the window, got on top of the car, and teen wolfed.
Jesus. So I have to say the E.H. Taylor is
Fucking phenomenal.
just. I mean, talk about the best under $50 bourbon in the world.
Yeah.
It's
I gotta
I
believe
agree.
that's it.
it's crazy.
agree.
It was my favorite for a long time till finally Blanton's did take over for me.
I already
Blanton's
missed
isn't under
the
50.
E.H. Taylor.
Correct.
I miss it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite. I have a bottle
Look.
at home.
Look, here's a bunch of it.
Yeah. I just poured myself a glass of Weller.
I just
But-
poured myself a
Wait.
glass of Weller as
We have
well.
Weller.
Yeah.
Wait.
I have an empty glass.
Help
I
yourself,
have-
my friend.
I have an E.H. Taylor, and I have an empty glass.
So the key is at some point, and it's probably going to take a while. Now, we had the green label Weller, obviously the red label Weller,
Yeah.
but we need to get the black.
It's a lottery item now.
I know. So we get
You
the
have
black.
I have the black.
So he's got the black.
Do you have enough for a tasting?
Oh,
do.
he does. He's got plenty.
Hey, I'll answer the question. No, I don't think I have enough for the tasting. I probably have enough for me.
I've never had it.
I've
But
got it. It's a 12-year. I've got it.
so just to make it a proper tasting, because, if we do 3 bourbons, I don't think that's right. I mean, we did 8 tonight. So
I think we've established off the initial podcast we thought 6 or 8 was too much. I
Yeah.
think we've established now it's just right.
right.
Well, wait a
right,
minute.
right.
So Buffalo Trace, Weller Antique, Weller 12, which is the black label. Blanton's.
EH.
Eagle.
That's 6.
That's
gonna be hard.
That's probably enough.
Wait, no.
It's gonna have to be.
No,
'cause
no,
it's gonna
no.
be hard to get our hands
No.
on anything
6?
else.
Pappy.
We don't have it.
No,
Well,
but we
but we can speak
once,
to it.
Once we get it. We can
When
get
We
it.
can
four
speak to the
minds
12.
combine, we can achieve
We can
it.
We
speak to
can
the
get it.
12.
You did volunteer to buy me and being a
But
plane ticket to
I did.
go to Vegas.
I did. But I will tell you that the Pappy 12 and the Weller 12 I have, Weller 12 is supposedly what doesn't make the cut for the Pappy 12.
That's what I've heard.
The Weller 12, when I bought it, I don't know. I forget it was. It was a bunch of years ago. Let's say it was $50, $60 a bottle. The Pappy 12 was $4.50. I know it's only $99, but on the black market,
$79.
it was $4.50. Okay.
$79.
So we pitched in and bought a bottle just to say we had it. I'd buy the Weller 12 every single time.
Well, especially at the
Wow.
price point.
Yeah, it's
here-
stupid.
But here's what's fucking crazy to me. The Weller Antique 107
Yep.
is, I think, $59.99 MSRP.
Yeah, I think I paid $80 for mine.
Yeah.
Right, which is reasonable. I would
Well,
pay $80 for the Weller.
I couldn't find it. And
Yeah, well, I would pay it. It's excellent. It's really good, and it's hard to find.
Jacob, we're back to bourbon.
But the Weller 12, this is what's crazy to me, is the Weller 12 is only a $49.99 MSRP, but it's a
Really?
lottery. But it's a lottery. The Antique 107, not a lottery.
Nobody has it.
The Weller 12 is a lottery
I have.
with a less MSRP.
Yeah.
So are you going to let us use it for a tasting?
Damn right.
Fucking right. You just...
Hey, as
Oh,
long
I
as
gotta go-
Tommy's included.
I got to be right back. I
Man.
got to go change my pants. That's awesome. No, seriously, that's fucking incredible
Yeah.
because
I have about a half of my second bottle left. First bottle's gone.
that
So,
would be incredible.
I'll just give you the quick story. Went to, and maybe I did this already in the last podcast. Went to, oh, that's a great shirt. I
little
didn't even notice you had it
Liberty and the
on.
Pursuit of good bourbon.
I was
That's
too.
the first time I saw that. I love it.
I was too
Hey,
focused
love
on
it.
your nipples.
Hey, I was going to say, Eddie's got those Jennifer Aniston nipples going.
Hello, Jennifer.
We're doing a Jefferson's tasting. I'm wearing a Jefferson shirt. Damn it.
I knew you had a Jefferson shirt on, but I haven't seen the back of it yet.
Actually,
I
can I
didn't
see
hear
the
that.
back
That's
of that?
really
I
cool.
didn't see it. It's for real. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of beautiful. Love
Yeah.
it.
Well, I just want to say one thing, and I think Steve has something to say after this, but... Well,
No, Jeff does.
Okay, Jeff, you can finish, but I just want to comment real quick. It's just a sidebar comment. At the beginning of this podcast, all of the bourbons were lined up in a straight line.
This table is a
I
fuck show.
want you to see this table now, because now that the audience can see it, and it's just
Shit
bottle.
show.
It looks like a chess game of bottles of bourbon. And Blanton's is
Check.
Yeah.
I will.
that is good.
I will steal your pawn and I will check it with a Blanton.
I will have to say,
Searching for the next Bobby.
I will have to say, there's not a single fucking bourbon on this table that is a pawn.
No. They're all.
So true, Dave.
King me.
Right, here's the king back here. The big boy.
The big boy.
The big boy says, check me.
You know what? We should feel very privileged. There are a lot of bourbons on this table that a lot of people
Yep.
wish they had in their collection.
You know, I'm sure right now there's people watching this video, listening to this video, that are drinking Ancient Age. Fuck you. Wait, that wasn't nice, was it?
which, by the way,
That wasn't nice.
it wasn't, but it was still funny. But also, which, by the way, is a Buffalo Trace product.
Yes, it is.
Yep. But
$14.99 for a 1.75 liter. Anyway,
I want to hear your Weller story.
all right, so my Weller 12. So I'm in Louisville business conference. Not into bourbon at all at this point.
Oh, shit.
Nope.
How long ago was this?
Boy, that's a good question. Let's say
Okay,
somewhere between 6 and 10 years ago.
Okay.
And
Boy, that's a wide range of
well,
time.
because I don't remember. Probably closer to
9/11.
10.
Between a decade and
Yeah.
50 years.
I think it was the 1950s.
I could have been in
All
my
right,
40s,
anyway.
maybe my 50s.
So I'm going to bring up Cece.
Oh, nice.
Chris Campese,
Yeah, I love
my
him.
customer, my buddy, my
Love
friend, played in my member guest with me 2 years. Anyway, So we're in Louisville, and I'm not into bourbon. I think probably drinking who knows what back then, gin and tonics and vodka and wine. And I said, "Look, we're in Louisville, for Christ's sake. We got to. I gotta have a bourbon." So you remember the bar that was right down the street from where you guys stayed? Had the bourbon on the wall. And I know if you mention it, I'll remember it. But that's where we went. The conference center was not far from there. So we met for lunch. And we're sitting at the bar, and they have a wall of bourbon. And the girl comes up to wait on us, and I said, look, I don't know anything about bourbon, but I want to try something good. And she said to me, how much do you want to spend? I don't know. I said, $10 to $15. She did not hesitate. She went straight to the Weller 12. Poured me in a Glencairn glass, 2 ounces. Poured my buddy 2 ounces. I tasted it and went, damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
And I said, why did you pick this? She goes, well, this is a great product, and the price point hit what you said. And I said, okay, great. So I think we had a second one and left, had lunch and left. And so I went home after the conference was over, and I got online. I'm like, Weller 12. Can I buy it? And back then I could.
Right.
It wasn't impossible to get. And so I bought 2 bottles, and I think I paid, from what I hear, probably double what I should have paid. But I had 2 Weller 12s.
Yeah. And who cares at that point?
Wait, but I didn't know what I had.
Oh.
Until now.
Yeah.
Now
Till
you
recent
know
years.
some
Yeah.
information and some shit. And the Weller 12 is almost impossible to find. And I come to find out it's the Pappy Reject, which give me more.
Yeah, I'll take all of that.
And so we went through the first bottle. These guys, Steve's had it, Doug's had it, and
Steve had a bunch of airplane bottles of it.
well, that's a
It
great
was
story.
well documented.
That's a great
we've
story,
talked about
which we
it.
talked about on the
Yeah.
last podcast. So, but I had this way before we even knew what we were getting into.
Fuck.
This is way before the Ron Johnson.
I was gonna say, is that
blends.
before that?
Oh shit, it's years before that.
Oh man.
I just brought it home, and it came to my door, and I put it on my shelf thing there, and
Shelf thing.
and then
And
eventually
he was telling me about it though.
But
I mean,
I did.
he was like, "Oh, you're." I was like, because I was so into Scotch at the time.
We all
Like,
were.
I don't
We
want
were.
your fucking
Yeah, we all
Weller.
were.
Bourbon,
I got in the Scotch first.
Yeah.
But not heavily.
as did
But
we.
Go ahead. Yeah, go
But
ahead.
heavily.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I mean my point was I was like, nah. I'll stick with my Scotch.
This was pre-Blanton's, because the Blanton's was what switched us.
Yeah.
So this was 2 to 3 years at least before that. And so I got these 2 bottles of Weller 12 sitting there, and we finally got into bourbon, and we opened the first bottle. It's like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, blah blah blah. And eventually we're like, do you know what we have here? And so now I'm like guarding it with my life. I got it in the back where nobody could see it, so that I could save it for a special occasion if I have to. Probably have half a bottle left, but would love to bring it for a tasting.
That'd
and
be awesome.
We can mix it in with the other stuff and see what we think about it. But
I think
And what was it again?
Weller 12.
Weller 12.
It's a
So-
It's a black label. See this one?
Yeah, that would be
I think we
awesome.
just figured out
That
what
would
our
be
next
awesome.
tasting.
And
is.
it's
Well-
a 12-year-old.
and I was going to recommend
You
two
know the
things.
best thing
One
about
is
12-year-olds?
an
I
all,
like it.
just like we're just talking,
Not
an all
that part.
Buffalo
I
Trace.
meant the
Yeah.
liquor.
It's
But
It ties into
we
a
got
joke from the last
to
podcast.
try and get as much as we can of all what they have to offer,
But
which
it's
is
so,
a lot.
It's so impossible to get the other ones
I
besides
know.
what we're talking about. Like
know.
the fact that he has Weller 12 is insane.
I know.
I'm
but
gonna need.
we-
I'm probably going to need an appearance fee.
We have a connection.
I'll pay my dues.
Hey, I had.
No.
I'll
I'm
pay my
kidding.
dues.
Hey, listen.
I'm kidding. I would love to share it
so,
with you guys.
so I was going to say we have a connection to Pappy, and I don't know if we can get it for the same price. I've already told you this story, but we can certainly try.
I'm
And
not paying that.
I
$450?
I understand.
Nah.
for
ain't-
Pappy 12.
Pappy 12,
Not
but
worth it.
It's
No.
Pappy 12 Lot B though.
I don't care. Not worth it.
Can't pay that much.
It's still really good though.
If we get it for 200, I'll do it
I'd do 200.
because it's 100.
I'd do 250. It's a 79.99.
But
Okay,
if we
I heard
What if we
99.
all throw in on it?
right, that's what I'm saying. If we all
We all
put
throw
our
in on it.
minds
but not
together,
450. It's not that good.
Not 450, but like
It's
if
not
we,
that much better than what we're gonna drink.
Do you think? Do you
Do
think?
you
I
agree?
would
Do you
throw- I
disagree
would-
with me, Steve?
I don't.
I would throw in.
That's-
I would
that's-
throw in.
But-
That's all I'm saying.
Here's the question I think that maybe Steve is throwing out there is it worth it for a podcast?
Right, and it is. I think it is.
I think you might be right for a podcast. I think under normal circumstances, to everybody listening and everybody watching, don't pay that much for Pappy's.
Not $4.50.
But for a podcast where we're doing all Buffalo Trace,
Listen,
all throw in,
that's fine. We get $2.50.
$100 a piece.
No, no, not worth it.
You're not in.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know about 100.
So
not worth
I
it.
do less. I do 50.
Listen, we had it. It
well,
was
if it's
fantastic.
but Tommy, did you not do the math?
Fantastic.
You were just on board.
All right, so let's.
Tommy
just,
was just on. I
He
wanna
was on
clarify
board.
this. He was on board. He was
on
board.
tape
He
and
was-
video.
He was on board. We were like 400. He was like, no, wait, I'm on board. If we all throw in, and then we said 100 apiece, and he's like, hold on.
All right.
I mean,
It's not that
How
much
about this?
better than.
if
Let
it
me
was-
work-
If it was needed, like if it had to happen, I would do it.
All right,
Like, if
well,
it was a must.
if
If
my-
we wouldn't have had it, I would do it.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, I love Pappy 12. I've had it.
Okay.
So if we're gonna put it on, if we're gonna do this tasting right, then we need to strive to get a bottle. Now,
Agree completely.
the question is,
That's the thing.
At what cost?
at what cost? But
Yep.
let's at least strive to get it and use our resources
If for the
and see
podcast,
what we can get it for.
for the podcast only, I would be willing to pay the 400 price between all of us.
Yes, me
only
too.
because of
Yeah.
the podcast. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the
For
only
the
reason.
podcast,
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. I would not normally pay $400 for a bottle of Pappy 12, as much as I think it is one of the most. Actually, I don't put it in my top 5 because I'm not going to have a bottle of it. I'm not going to have it on the shelf.
If we're gonna do that, we have
if
to
I-
drink the whole bottle.
If I'm gonna have,
Oh, we're
you
drinking
know
the
what,
whole
Tommy?
bottle.
You're exactly right.
We're
But if
drinking
I'm
the
gonna
whole
bring the
bottle.
Weller 12, then I think we need to get the Pappy 15.
I agree.
So what do we pay for
Let's
the
get
Pappy
something
15?
and
different.
I'll do 400 for that.
But can we get that for 400?
I don't know.
We're gonna try. Now the other suggestion
With everything I have going on with the 3 podcasts, I need you guys to do the research.
Oh yeah,
on that.
we'll handle that.
Yeah.
We'll handle that. I have some connections in Kentucky from when I was there last. We'll see what.
What
we
about
can
your
do.
sister-in-law? Or is it sister?
Sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law.
Yeah,
She's down there
Maybe.
all the time.
yeah,
And my cousin Luke.
yeah.
But they make you pay out the ass because it's not an MSRP.
Right.
It's not a state run.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one I feel like we have to do is the Maker's Mark
And don't forget the rye.
No,
and the rye.
We're gonna
There's-
have a rye tasting too.
listen. There are 3 tastings that are on the top of my head.
Well, that's the only thing on the top of your head.
That's the fact. The Old Foresters.
Sorry.
That Old Forester, I don't know what they call that series, but that Old Forester series with the 1920, the 1910, so on, the Maker's Mark, and I would like to do, just because I want to try Weller 12 so bad, I would like to make that the next one in 2 weeks because we're going to do these every 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
I would like to do that, but if we're going to try to get this bottle of Pappy's, that can wait. I would love it if we could try to get the bottle of Pappy's in between there and got it in time for the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But we can wait on that. But, yeah, I think Old Forester and Maker's Mark are on the list before we even get to the $20 or whatever the fuck.
Well, I think
they're
the-
talking about.
And the
what about the rise?
The rise.
Oh, and the Rise. I'm sorry. And the Rise.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with the Rise as well.
And I feel like that
You have all
has.
4 here?
yeah, I have all 4 there.
Was there 5 or 4?
Well, there's actually 5. We didn't get the 5th one in this area. There's a milkshake, which I think maybe we can all agree we might not want the milkshake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's from Spawns. Listen, I had the caramel mocha bomb. Man, it was pretty good.
It was way better than I expected it to be.
It was way better than I expected. It was caramel on the front and chocolate on the back, and
I think everybody needs to understand that those names that are all those bottles doesn't mean that it's flavored bourbon. It has notes of those.
Right.
it's all from the
staves.
barrel. Yeah,
The
staves.
staves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? EH? EH.
Which I'm going to
Taylor.
tell you right now, Tommy. You're not.
EH.
I mean, you were not close enough to the microphone the last couple times. I mean,
Here.
I
I could barely hear you.
I probably wasn't. I have a problem with the microphone.
You stay pretty far away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Is it really bad?
I want to get back to this.
What?
though. I want us to really try to get our hands on that bottle of
can't
Pappy's.
reach.
All right.
I gotta, like,
I don't care if it's 12, 15, 20, 23.
So
The
I've got.
15's fantastic. Very
mean,
oaky.
I have a couple avenues, one of which I made in Kentucky, and that's probably going to be a more expensive one. So, I mean, I'm going to work on it.
We're
I'm
going to
work hard.
Listen, for the podcast, we are going, regardless of whether
hey,
it's for the podcast.
if you
or
sell
not,
some fucking shirts, maybe we can afford a bottle.
So everybody, buy some fucking shirts, would you?
You got to get them.
Listen, if I was
you got to get them
traveling-
printed.
If I was traveling, I could probably get something from that restaurant in St. Louis that I told you about, where I tasted all of them. And but that's not happening yet. So, I mean, what the fuck was that?
He changed his mind.
Oh, he's going
I
from
want
EH
the,
to
I want
Bland's.
the chiller.
But we need to. We honestly, I really want to do that tasting with the Weller 12. But I please try to hold on to that until we get
Listen,
a bottle of Pappy.
I'm not drinking it.
Okay.
I'm hanging.
Okay. Because I think that would be an amazing tasting and amazing for us to have a bottle of Pappy on the podcast. I don't care.
Well, even the Pappy
The only
12
one I
and the
don't
Weller
want is
12
the
to
10.
compare.
Well, that's
because
what I'm saying.
that was always the rumor that
That's
it
what I'm
was the
saying.
reject.
Yeah. And I'm willing to pay, like, the Pappy 12 I've had, it's a $79.99 MSRP. I think I'd be willing to pay $150, $200 for it.
No, we paid $450 for it.
Yeah.
Which
But there's a Pappy's 12, and then
That's
there's
it.
a Pappy's 12 lot
B.
B.
right, which is supposed
We
to
had
be better.
lot B.
We did.
But what I'll say is,
So we overpaid for the good stuff.
what I will say is, I might not normally be willing to pay that much, but for a podcast, I'd be willing to split that cost. But we are going to drink it that night.
The whole thing.
He
Well,
said
whatever-
that
listen.
so drunkard.
Whatever we don't drink,
Now that I'm
we
closer
drink
to
the
the
whole
microphone, I'm gonna
whatever
ask
we
the
don't
whole
drink,
thing.
I'll take home and keep and store.
I trust you the most to store it, I think.
I've heard that from several of my friends, Dave.
I think the two that I would trust the most out of this, and not to toot my own horn, is me and you. I held on to that Groth as much as I loved
did.
it for a
Yeah.
long
You did.
time.
You did.
Here, here.
I'd hold
Here,
on.
here.
I'd hold on to that Pappy Van Wickle.
No, you would not.
Yeah, I would.
You wouldn't even bring your
It's a little
Blantons to
mitty.
a party.
It's a little
Who told me
mitty.
to bring it?
You'd be going through Taco Bell going like, I'm going to have this with some Pappy.
Who told me to bring the Blantons? I ain't gonna bring that anywhere.
Going through McDonald's and saying, I'm going to get this QP with cheese and go home and have it with some Pappy.
You know what? QP with cheese sounds good right now.
And it's going to be a little meaty.
Oh, Jesus.
A little Matty.
Pretty shit.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a little Matty.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
little Matty.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing.
The podcast
Bollocks.
has slid down the
bollocks.
sliding board
All right.
quickly.
So we know we have Old
We're
Forester.
at like
We got the
3.5
Maker's Mark.
hours
We got the
right
rye.
We got the rye.
We got to do a rye tasting.
Yeah, I agree. We do have to do a rye tasting.
Eventually, we could do an under $25, but I think it's under 30 would be better.
Well, the thing
But
is,
I think that's down the road.
but it is down the road. But we're not doing that one to love what we're tasting. We're doing
No, we're
that
doing
one
it
for
to
the
enlighten people on
on-
what they can get for
I
under
think
$25.
I feel like that one's going to be the most useful as a podcast or a bourbon cast
or
in
useless.
general.
No, well, here's the thing. Do you know how many people come into the liquor store and they're like, "We really like bourbon. We don't have the money to spend."
And will you smell my fingers?
Or let me smell yours.
Why do my
Why does your pinky smell like ass?
why do my fingers smell like fish? Does this smell like tuna to you?
Jesus.
But
And that's food stamps.
that's food stamps.
How about American cheese?
But they do say, hey, look, we're looking for a decent bourbon because we like bourbon, but we don't want to buy
Buffalo
a $50,
Trace.
$60 bottle.
Right here.
Buffalo Trace is it, but it's hard to find. So we're gonna hit the ones. Honestly, I think even when we do the 30 or 25 below, we leave our favorites out, or
Right.
we save them to the end and be like, hey, we're leaving it out of the rankings.
Yes.
Because we already know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to let people know what they can
Yeah.
get for their price point.
yeah.
It's like that NBC commercial, "The More You Know," with the rainbow
and
and the
it could
stars.
and it could even end up being, these are all shit. These
The
are all.
more you know. Let me teach you about cheap bourbons. If you're trying to get your drunk on, but you also enjoy bourbon tastings, we have the bourbons for you.
Which I think we're all.
I like it.
I think from the start we will all agree if you're going we'll say 20 or below, 15 or below, that benchmark almost has to be left off the list.
You know what? One thing out of everything that we've talked about for the past, I think 74 minutes is we have a very good option of future episodes.
Oh, yeah.
We just named probably a good chance of a good 6-7 episodes.
Yeah.
Tommy,
am I
the
right?
question is if you and I get invited back or not.
We're coming back.
I think we need to be part of the Bastards of
They
Bourbon.
don't get to choose.
I will
I
say-
think it should be a foursome. I don't like the fact that it's just 2.
Well, no, listen,
I think it should be a 4.
No,
a
here's-
fantastic 4.
It's a
yeah.
fivesome because if I
Well,
don't
yeah.
come, if Jacob's not here, if Jacob's
No.
not here,
Here.
I'm not here.
I'm never
Same
here
here.
without
Here.
Jacob. I'm never
Here.
Jacob
Well-
is my surf.
Well, and
Okay.
Jacob is my partner on every one
Yeah.
of the podcasts. That's
I won't
plain
be
and
here
simple.
without him. He's legit. That TV shit that he does,
that TV shit that he does.
he's on point. He's on point. That's all I'm saying.
What I want to say is you guys are definitely the go-tos, without a doubt. But we have already requests for people to come on.
That's okay.
And I only have
understand.
4 mics.
Tommy, fuck them.
Well, yeah. First off, fuck
Yeah.
you.
Hey, you want my Weller 12?
But
Fuck
yeah,
those guests.
Yeah.
Oh, he's bringing out the big guns
It's
now.
a power play right now.
Think
Yeah.
about,
That is a power play. All right. So, you know what? I actually really do enjoy this combo of people. It is hard.
You want me for the Weller?
This actually isn't even have to. This doesn't even have to do with the Weller. This actually has to do with. I feel like we do have good chemistry, and so maybe me and Jacob will figure out this
Jacob and I.
equipment. Here we go. I
I waited all night.
Jacob and me will figure out.
Jacob
this.
and I.
Yeah, Jacob and me. We'll figure.
Jacob and I.
We'll figure out this scenario to get more mics working. And fuck.
No, we don't need more than 4. The 4 of
should
us
be
are
bigger
just
too.
fine.
we should have a guest with us. Just get a 5th mic.
Right here.
There are.
Fifth
That's what
mic.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We get another
That's fine.
person.
That's
But it has to be approved by all 4 of us.
No. This is me and Steve's thing that you guys are trying to hijack now.
We're jealous. We're jealous.
Well, yes,
so
you're right.
fun.
You're right,
Jealous.
Dave. We want in.
I want to taste.
We
all
want
the
in,
bourbons.
motherfucker.
I
We
don't
want
wanna-
in.
I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out.
All right. Well, you know what? We do have to wrap this up.
Weller 12.
So-
Weller 12.
So
what's our time?
It's like 4.
That's enough.
3 hours. What? 13
Yeah,
minutes.
that's good.
So
We got 2 more minutes to fill.
So we
shouldn't be hard.
we are going to call it a night. I really appreciate everybody that listens and watches, hopefully for the first time, and I really appreciate Jeff and Tommy joining me and Steve for the actual first brand named Bastards of Bourbon. Shirts are going to be available. Glasses are going to be available as well. Glencairn
sweet.
and Rocks.
Nice.
And the website will be coming up soon. And I really appreciate it. Steve, you got anything?
I just want to say, enjoy the bourbon that we've tried tonight. Go out, get a bottle or 2. You're going to love it.
Actually, that's something we should say is, hey, guys, anything Jefferson does, I think we can all agree with, try it at a minimum. Because, man, we just tried 8 all Jeffersons, and they were all really good.
All really good.
I hate to rank
Carpalade in the house.
Oh no, we gotta hurry up and end this. We gotta end this now.
I want to say one thing when you're done. So you go.
No, I just
No,
want to
that's
say
all-
I hate to rank the reserve as number 7 out of 8, but I mean what we're saying tonight is these were all really good.
Oh, good. You can't go wrong.
Highly recommend the Jefferson products.
Get it.
Go get it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
My last thing I want to say is I don't want to end this yet, and we're gonna go with the top 5 Charlie Sheen / Emilio Estevez movies.
Do it
right now.
Do it.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, I would say Hot Shots.
Hey,
One of the
Carpalati, I
greatest-
want you to
Shots
come
Part
over here
Kill.
real quick. Come over here real quick,
Major
Carp.
League.
Come over here. I want you to just say. I just want you to say hi to the crowd.
What was that cowboy movie?
I don't know. I know what you're thinking of, but I can't think of it.
I don't give a shit about Emilio Estevez. 2.5 Men's is one of the greatest shows ever.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I still watch all
I
of them.
love Charlie
Agreed.
Sheen, actually.
But
I
hey-
love Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
he's hilarious.
And Martin.
to
Martin, his dad.
My aunt.
My
I
aunt.
thought you meant the show Martin.
Martin, his dad. Martin
See, this,
Sheen.
this is why they can't be
Right,
always
yeah,
here
yeah.
because they just take over.
Oh, really? Really?
Hey, I love you guys.
You're working against
Hey,
it
to
yourself.
the Bastards of Bourbon.
Bastards of Bourbon.
Thanks, Jacob.
Cheers.
Holy